Welcome to Dharma in Motion, where we slow down amidst the rush of life to listen to the bell of mindfulness in every breath. Here, the Dharma is not something distant. It is the warmth of a morning cup of tea, the gentle sunlight on the doorstep, the moment we realize we are still breathing, still alive, still present. Every teaching, every story at Dharma in Motion is a journey of return. Returning to oneself, to the present, to the peace that has always been within. The Buddha taught that the root of suffering does not lie in the world, but in the restless mind, in the delusions that pull us back to the past or push us toward the future. We often live as if we had two lives, one to worry and one to live. But life, in truth, is only one. If we spend it all on anxiety, fear, and things yet to come, then who will live for us in this very moment? Sometimes in the morning, even when nothing serious happens, we still feel heavy-hearted, worrying about our children, our health, our work, or things that may never occur. Modern people have every convenience, yet peace becomes rarer. The more we have, the more we fear losing. The further we reach, the more we fear failure. The more we crave happiness, the more we fear pain. The mind is stretched between two poles, one of desire and one of insecurity. And along that rope, we grow weary without knowing why we are exhausted. The Buddha taught that when the mind is not at peace, even the most beautiful scenery turns into suffering. The mind is restless because it chases illusions, things unreal, images we create in our own heads, then believe to be true. We suffer not because of the present, but because the mind keeps wandering toward what has not yet come. Therefore, the first medicine for anxiety is not doing more, but stopping to see. See the body breathing, see the mind stirring, see the wind still moving through the leaves, as it always has. See without judgment, without resistance, without denial. Just see and smile. After 40, 50, 60, we think we understand life, yet we carry even more worries. When young, we worry about lacking. When old, we worry in excess. We worry for our parents, our children, for things that cannot be changed. But no matter how much we worry, it never makes tomorrow better. Worry only makes us lose today, and today is the most precious gift life is offering. Someone once asked, if we don't worry, how can we live? The Buddha taught that right effort is different from anxiety. Right effort means being fully present in each action, doing our best with wisdom and compassion. Anxiety, however, is the mind running ahead of the present, trying to control what is beyond reach. One brings peace, the other erodes it. We can still prepare for tomorrow without losing today, still be responsible without bending under fear. To do that, we must learn to put things down. Putting down is not giving up, it is letting go of attachment, of the need to make everything go our way. Look at a rainstorm. When it rains, we frown. When it stops, we fear the sun will be harsh. The scene is the same, only the mind changes. There was an old woman who sighed every time it rained, saying, "With this rain, I'll lose all my customers." Until one day, her little grandchild ran out, laughing, "Grandma, thanks to the rain, our rice fields will grow better." Just that one sentence opened a great door. From that day, the rain still fell, but her heart no longer did. She brewed tea, sat watching the rain, and peace began to fall with each drop. Life is the same. Our rain may be a hurtful word, an undesired outcome, or an illness worsened by overthinking. What we cannot change is the rain outside. What we can always change is the heart that receives it. Acceptance is not surrender. It is knowing what can be done and what should be released. When we learn to let go at the right place, we keep ourselves whole. A young father once shared that while he was working late one night, his daughter texted, "Daddy, I just need you." That simple line silenced him. He realized his child did not need a father full of worry, but one who was present. Our loved ones are the same. They need our peace more than our busyness, our presence more than perfection. So each morning, if you can, take 5 minutes, just 5. Don't reach for your phone. Breathe in, breathe out. Place your hand on your chest and softly say, "Today, I will live a little slower." Those 5 minutes won't shorten your day. They'll expand it. When the mind is calm, wisdom shines, and even hard things become easy. At night, before sleep, light a lamp of gratitude in your heart. Be grateful that you can still breathe, still see, still hear the voices of your loved ones. Be grateful that you can still live, still love, still be here in this world. Peace has never been far. It's simply where we remember to return. The Buddha taught that peace does not come when everything is done, but when we can pause amidst what is unfinished. Just stop a little, look a little, breathe a little, and you'll feel your heart soften. The Dharma does not teach us to abandon life, nor to become rigid as stone. The Buddha only teaches us to stand firm, yet stay gentle. Firmness is wisdom, knowing what can change. Gentleness is compassion, knowing what to release. With these two wings, we can embrace life and still walk lightly. So don't rush to fix the whole world. Begin with one breath. Don't dream of peace tomorrow. Plant one seed of peace in this very moment. Life is short, but if lived deeply, even one breath can be as long as eternity. Tomorrow morning, when you wake, take a deep breath, smile softly and whisper, "Today, I return." Just one sentence, but enough to change the day, because life is lived only once. Live to truly live, not to chase, not to strain, not to resist. Live like a flower blooming in its own season, neither hurried nor late, simply blooming fully in the sunlight of the present. When we can live like that, worries will dissolve like morning dew under sunlight, and peace will remain like the fragrance of tea in the early dawn. There is something strange about life. The more we resist something, the tighter it clings. The more we try to push sadness away, the stronger it returns. The more we try to forget, the clearer the memory becomes. And the more we try to control everything, the more we lose control of ourselves. The Buddha taught that suffering arises because we do not accept reality as it is. We want it different, we want it our way, and that wanting becomes the root of restlessness. Acceptance is not resignation, nor is it compromise with suffering. Acceptance is seeing the truth without denial, without addition, without subtraction, like watching the rain, not blaming it for coming, not wishing it away, just knowing that rain is falling. In that moment, the mind ceases to resist and becomes clear and open. Suffering may not vanish immediately, but it loses its weight upon the soul, because when we no longer fight, we are no longer swept away. There was a young woman named Lan who lived in constant anxiety. She worried about work, about her family, about things that hadn't even happened. She compared her life to sitting on a rocking chair, swaying all day but going nowhere. Until one day she joined a short meditation session. The teacher said simply, "When you worry, don't try to chase the worry away. Sit quietly and see what shape it has." She laughed, but she tried. She sat down, closed her eyes, and observed her own worry. She found it wasn't as frightening as she thought. It was just a wave of feeling passing through. She began to breathe, to slow down, to realize that some things don't need fixing. They just need to be seen clearly. That is acceptance, to see clearly without attachment. In Buddhism, this is the root of wisdom. When we see the truth of impermanence, we no longer suffer from change. When we see the truth of suffering, we no longer fear pain. And when we see that attachment is the cause of suffering, we begin to learn how to let go. In the Four Noble Truths, the Buddha teaches, know suffering, understand suffering, see its cause, and find the path that leads beyond it. And that path begins with acceptance. Without acceptance, there can be no understanding. Without understanding, there can be no liberation. Someone once said, "If I accept, doesn't that mean I've lost?" But in truth, acceptance is not defeat. Acceptance is when we are strong enough that we no longer need to win over anything. When the mind is clear enough, we understand that it's not always necessary to win, to be right, or to be better than others. There are things that only need to be understood. There are relationships that only need to be released gently to find peace. Those who understand the Dharma do not compete or fight to be superior, because they know that every time they argue, they lose a little peace. A monk once told a small story. A man was caught in heavy rain, running and complaining, "Oh heavens, why does it rain when I'm in such a hurry?" The monk passing by smiled and said, "The rain doesn't fall just for you." It sounded like a joke, but within it lies a deep lesson. Rain is rain, sun is sun. Joy and sorrow both come and go according to their causes and conditions. The world does not revolve around any one person's wishes. When we understand this, we stop blaming. We begin to feel light, because in our heart, there's no one left to resent, no one left to blame. Only a simple truth remains. We and life coexist, breathing and walking together in understanding. Acceptance is also a way to open the heart to ourselves. Some people spend their whole lives unable to forgive themselves. They dwell endlessly on a past mistake, something they believe they could have done differently, but the past is gone. We cannot live the same moment twice. What we need to do is not to judge ourselves, but to learn how to hold ourselves like a friend who is hurt. When we sit with our mistakes, when we look directly at our cracks, without denial, that is the moment we truly grow. The Buddha said, "No one can save you but yourself." And to save ourselves, we must first learn to love ourselves, to accept our imperfect humanity. Here is a small practice you can try. Whenever something disturbs your peace, ask yourself, "Can I change this?" If the answer is yes, act with calmness and clarity. If the answer is no, breathe out and say, "I accept it as it is." In that moment, we don't become weaker. We become stronger because we stop wasting energy resisting reality. Like a river meeting a rock, the water doesn't stop to argue. It gently flows around and continues. The true strength of water lies in its softness, and the true strength of a human being lies in acceptance. Acceptance is also the first step toward compassion. When we understand that everyone has their own suffering, we stop judging. Those who are quick to anger carry deep wounds inside. Those who speak harshly have perhaps never heard gentle words. When we see these roots, we no longer react. We begin to empathize. That is acceptance on a deeper level. Not only accepting circumstances, but also accepting people and their karma. When our hearts are wide enough, the world around us becomes gentler. Dear friends, in life, we cannot always choose what happens to us, but we can choose how to face it. Acceptance doesn't make us lose, it sets us free. Free from resistance, from resentment, from what cannot be changed. Then we are no longer dragged by reality, but move with it, lightly, like the wind passing over a field. And in that movement, we find peace. Acceptance is the art of living mindfully. It is not loud or dazzling, but quiet and profound. When we know how to stop, not resist, not argue, not prove, peace arises naturally. Because peace does not come from the world bending to our will, but from our reconciliation with ourselves. Once we are in harmony within, no outside turbulence can shake us. The breath is our most honest companion. Whenever the heart feels uneasy, just stop and breathe. Breathe in, know that you are breathing in. Breathe out, know that you are breathing out. This simple practice is the root of mindfulness, because in the breath we accept everything. No need to add, no need to subtract, only to be present. Each peaceful breath is a step home. Each step home is a step away from suffering. And so, day by day, we learn to live more lightly, no longer running from pain, no longer fearing change, but opening our hearts to everything as guests passing through. Some come, we welcome. Some leave, we bow farewell. Each arrival brings a lesson, a chance to understand, to love, to release. When the heart learns to accept, life, whether in rain or sunshine, becomes gentle like the morning after the rain. Have you ever noticed that most of our worries arise from one thing? We want everything our way. We want others to behave as we expect, our work to go as planned, our children to live as we hope. And when reality doesn't match our will, we fall into disappointment, anger, and pain. The more we try to control, the more anxious we become, like sand in our hand. The tighter we grip, the faster it slips away. The Buddha taught that suffering does not come from what we lack, but from what we refuse to let go of. In life, there are countless things that don't belong to us: the weather, other people's words, karma, or the flow of time. Yet we try to control them all, thinking that will bring peace. In truth, the more we control, the more we are controlled in return. The desire to control is the invisible rope that binds us in anxiety. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means understanding our limits, knowing where to act and where to let causes and conditions ripen on their own. There's a small story. A man climbing a mountain slipped and fell off a cliff, barely catching hold of a branch. In fear, he prayed, "If someone up there exists, please save me." A voice replied, "Let go, I will catch you." The man shouted back, "No, I'm scared." The next morning, people found him frozen to death, hanging just 2 meters above the ground. The story seems simple, but it mirrors real life. Often our suffering doesn't come from a cruel world, but from our inability to let go, even just a little. Letting go is a journey of faith. Faith that the universe has its own order, that everything happens for a reason, that if our heart is right, the path will be bright. Sometimes we must learn to be silent and let things arrange themselves. Not everything needs our interference, and not everything unfolds as fast as we want. A tree needs time to bloom, and so do we. The more we rush, the more we break. The more impatient, the more we lose our way. Letting go is knowing how to take a step back to see the whole picture. A mother loves her child, so she worries about every detail. But worrying too much weakens the child's confidence. Wanting to control prevents mistakes, yet it also prevents growth. Only when a mother learns to let go can her child truly stand on their own. In love, letting go is a form of wisdom. It grants others freedom and gives us ease. Letting go does not mean indifference. It means knowing when to stop. Like teaching a child to walk. We cannot hold their hand forever. We must release it so they can fall, stand, and learn to walk on their own. Letting go is also an act of courage. Many think holding on is strength and letting go is weakness. But in truth, only the strong dare to let go. The weak fear losing. The wise know that nothing is truly lost. Everything is simply changing form. When one door closes, another opens. We just need not cling to the one that's shut. The Buddha taught, in impermanence, only the awakened mind is a true refuge. If we cling to what changes, we suffer. But if we rest in the clear, knowing mind, we find peace. Letting go is also a way to look back at ourselves. Sometimes we cannot control others, yet we are controlled by our own emotions. When someone says something displeasing, we get angry. When plans fail, we get irritated. When others do not acknowledge us, we feel hurt. All these reactions arise from the self that wants control. We want others to think well of us, want everything to go smoothly, want to be loved, praised, understood. But life does not always comply. If we do not learn to let go, we will live forever in disappointment. The scriptures teach that practitioners do not only let go of possessions, but also let go of attachment in the mind. Some people lose a precious item and suffer for months. Yet others lose their entire livelihood and still smile, saying, well, that too is due to conditions. Why? Because they understand that everything born will one day fade. Nothing is forever, not even sorrow. When we clearly see the law of impermanence, the heart naturally becomes light. Loss is no longer loss, but simply part of the flow passing through. Letting go does not mean stopping life, but living consciously. When we let go, we can work without clinging to results. We still love, still care, still strive, but we do not let our hearts be tied by what is beyond reach. Like a rower, the hands still hold the oar, but do not force the water to follow a desired direction. Just keep rowing, and the wind and water will carry the boat along. Peace lies in knowing how to let go like that. Someone once said, I worry too much, I can't let go. In truth, letting go is not done at once, but practiced little by little. Each day we release one small thing. Let go of a word we want to argue. Let go of a judgment in the mind. Let go of a habit of trying to control others. With every letting go, we become a little lighter. One day we will find that what we once feared losing is no longer frightening. Because it turns out that only when we stop clinging do we truly have. Letting go is also a form of deep trust in cause and effect. When we do what is right, speak wholesome words, and live with a kind heart, good results will come on their own. No need to force them. Sometimes we meet adverse conditions today, yet those very conditions are teaching us lessons that favorable ones cannot. Sometimes what we lose is what saves us from future suffering. Seeing with the eyes of cause and effect, we understand that everything has a reason. And when we grasp this, we see that letting go is not loss, but gain, the gain of peace. Letting go is not a lesson anyone masters in a day. It requires practice, patience, and faith. But the more we let go, the wider the heart becomes. The wider it is, the brighter life grows. Like the sky, only when clouds part does sunlight shine. When the heart stops clenching, we can feel the gentleness of wind, of sunlight, of a simple day filled with meaning. Therefore, if today something in your heart is unsettled, please try pausing for a moment. Breathe in deeply and whisper, "What am I holding on to?" Then breathe out and imagine gently opening your hand. The thing may still be there, but your feeling has changed. Let go just a little, and suffering lessens a little. Each breath is a practice of release, and with every release, we take one step closer to peace. When we stop trying to control, we begin to see more clearly. When we no longer cling, we truly begin to live. For peace is not found in having everything go our way, but in our ability to smile even when things are not as we wish. That is the strength of the awakened. Those who know how to let go while still loving, who understand without binding. And when we can live like that, each passing day is a gift. Whether rain or sun, gain or loss, each carrying the fragrance of peace. Someone once asked, if we keep letting go of everything, doesn't that mean abandoning life, people, and all responsibility? That question is common, and it easily leads to misunderstanding the meaning of letting go. In truth, the Dharma does not teach us to leave life, but to live within it without being swept away. Letting go is not neglect, but keeping the heart light amidst heavy tasks. Letting go does not mean not loving, but loving wisely. Without attachment, without possession. People often confuse love with attachment. We think we love, but in fact we want others to live according to our wishes. We worry for our children, but that worry can become chains. We love our family, yet want them to act, think, and choose as we do. When they do not, we are sad, angry, hurt. That is not love, it is possessiveness. True love is allowing others to be themselves, accepting that they have their own path and way of life, and still loving them fully, even when they differ from us. The Buddha taught, love without attachment is the path of compassion. Compassion is to love without causing suffering to oneself or others. When we love without clinging, that love becomes vast and pure. It is no longer, I love you, or I love my mother, but I understand you, I understand my mother. Understanding is the foundation of love. Only with understanding can there be true love. And to understand, we must set the ego down. When we no longer view everything through the lens of self, we can truly see what the other needs and where they hurt. Seeing that pain, the heart naturally gives rise to love. A love without conditions, without demands. Letting go does not mean indifference or coldness. Those who know how to let go are not unfeeling. They still live, work, and love, but their hearts are no longer burdened by outcomes. Praise or blame, success or failure do not disturb their inner peace. They give their whole heart, then smile regardless of the result, because they know what matters is not what happens, but the state of mind with which we act. When the mind is clear, even small deeds become merit. When the mind is entangled, even great deeds easily turn into suffering. There was a farmer who grew flowers. Each morning he watered them, picked off pests, cared for every leaf. But he did not expect the flowers to bloom on the day he chose. He said, "My job is to care properly. Blooming or not is heaven's business." That statement embodies the spirit of letting go in action. He did not abandon, nor did he cling. He gave his all, yet did not let results rule his heart. Because of that, he felt peaceful every day, whether the flowers bloomed or not. Letting go in action is also a way to practice in daily life. When we work, we can ask, why am I doing this? If the answer is to prove ourselves, to be recognized, to surpass others, suffering is certain. For all comparison breeds insecurity. But if we do it for joy, to bring benefit, out of gratitude for the chance to do good, the mind becomes bright and light. Working in peace is practice. Practice is not only in the temple, but in each small daily act. Letting go is not abandoning goals or ideals. Those who know how to let go still have dreams and direction, but they walk with wisdom and faith, not with haste or fear. They know that every result arrives in its proper time, like planting a grain of rice. We need not dig it up daily to check if it has sprouted. We simply tend the soil, keep it moist, welcome the sun, and trust that the seed will grow. So it is with life. When we sow the right causes, the fruits will come at the right time, neither early nor late. In love, letting go is also a form of maturity. When we are young, we often love by emotion. The tighter we hold, the more we fear losing. Yet the tighter we grasp, the more suffocating love becomes. Only when we know how to let go do we love with understanding. Love is not to possess, but to grow together. When we love someone without needing them to belong to us, that love has touched freedom. And freedom is the expression of wisdom. The Buddha taught, nothing belongs to us, not even the one we love. It may sound sad, but precisely because of that, love becomes true, no longer dependent on the condition of must have, but simply to love. Letting go does not mean leaving the world to seek peace somewhere far away. On the contrary, letting go helps us live more deeply in the present moment. When we are no longer bound by worries or desires, we can truly see the beauty of each moment in life. The song of morning birds, the breeze through our hair, the sunlight slanting across the wall, all are miracles when our mind is not clouded by thoughts. The one who knows how to let go is the one who knows how to live fully in the moment, without clinging to the past or projecting into the future. They know that happiness is not far away. It exists in every mindful breath. Letting go does not mean doing nothing, but doing with awareness. When cooking a meal, washing dishes, or talking with our children and grandchildren, all can be meditation if done mindfully. When our mind is fully in what we do without haste or distraction, we are releasing illusions and living in the present. This letting go is invisible, but those around us can feel it, because the energy of peace spreads naturally. A peaceful mother brings calm to her children. A calm father brings harmony to the home. And that is how we plant peace into life, not by words, but through the energy of our own presence. Those who know how to let go often appear very serene. They do not need to speak much to prove themselves or to argue. They understand that everyone is walking their own path, each with their own lessons. They do not rush to fix others, knowing they themselves are still learning. They simply smile, listen, and live so that their heart remains as clear as water. Their stillness makes others feel at ease, for in their presence there is no judgment, no pressure, only compassion. Therefore, letting go is not abandonment. Letting go is the most intelligent and profound way of living one can choose. Only when unbound can we truly love, do good, and live fully. When the mind is not controlled by results, we see that every act, no matter how small, has meaning. We realize we are free even in the midst of seeming constraints. Then life is no longer a burden, but a gentle, radiant, and grateful journey. So practice letting go in the very things you think you must hold. Practice smiling amid what has yet to go your way. Practice loving without demanding, helping without attachment, acting without seeking reward. When you can do this, peace needs no searching. It comes on its own. For peace has never been outside us. It is right here in the moment we release everything, even the wish for peace itself. There are days when life feels heavy. Everything seems wrong. Others don't understand us. Work is stagnant. Health declines. Children disobey. Yet there are also days when everything looks the same, but the heart feels light. We are still the same. Others are still the same. Only the mind has changed. That is why the Buddha taught, when the mind is at peace, the world is at peace. It is not the world that changes, but our mind, and thus the world becomes gentle. The mind is the root of all perception. When the mind is calm, we see peace everywhere. When it is restless, even in a temple, we feel uneasy. The clear mind sees opportunity even in suffering. The clouded mind sees suffering even in blessings. So if you wish to change your life, do not rush to change your circumstances. Change your way of seeing. For the outer world is only a mirror reflecting our inner world. A clear mind, a clear world. A tangled mind, a tangled life. There was a woman named Thao who worked in the city. She often complained that life was stressful and people were selfish and hurried. One day, due to family reasons, she took a month off to care for her sick mother in the countryside. During those days, she woke early, watered the garden, listened to birds, and cooked with her mother. She realized she hadn't felt such peace in a long time. One morning, watching sunlight filter through the flowers, she suddenly understood. Peace is not because this place is quiet, it's because my heart is quiet. When she returned to the city, the horns still blared. The workload was the same, but her mind no longer got swept away. She still worked and met people, but whenever tension arose, she paused and took a deep breath. Miraculously, what once troubled her became mere ripples on the surface. The mind is the artist painting our world. The same scene. One person sees suffering, another sees joy. In the rain, a vendor laments poor sales, but a farmer rejoices for his watered field. In the sun, an office worker complains of heat, but one drying rice is grateful for light. The world is neither bad nor good. It depends on the mind that looks. If we view life through the lens of discontent, we find misery everywhere. But if we open our heart in gratitude, we find beauty in every place. Someone once said, "I'll be happy when everything is stable." But life is impermanent. How can anything ever be truly stable? Health may change, wealth may fade, loved ones may leave. If we wait for perfection to find peace, we may never find it at all. That is why the Buddha taught, do not seek peace in conditions, seek peace in the heart. When the heart is peaceful, even in the marketplace, it feels like a monastery. When the heart is restless, even in silence, we suffer. Circumstances cannot make us suffer. Only our attachments can. Once a man came to a Zen master and said, "Master, I'm so miserable. Everyone around me is difficult, and my job is stressful. I want to go somewhere far away where no one bothers me." The master smiled and said, "You can travel hundreds or thousands of miles, but if you don't let go of your irritation, you'll carry suffering with you." The man froze. Indeed, we can change houses, jobs, or people, but if we don't change our mind, suffering follows. Because suffering is not out there. It's in how we respond to what's out there. One way to nurture a peaceful mind is to practice gratitude. When we are grateful, the heart softens naturally. Try each morning, instead of complaining about the weather, to say, "Thank you that I can open my eyes today. Thank you for food to eat, for someone to love, for a body that can walk, work, and live." Every word of gratitude is a drop of water nourishing the heart. When the heart is watered by gratitude, the seeds of anxiety and anger cannot grow. A grateful person feels content anywhere. One without gratitude feels lacking, even with everything. Happiness is not in how much we have, but in how deeply we appreciate. To keep the mind at peace, we must also learn to return to the breath. The breath is the bridge between body and mind. When the mind is scattered, just stop. Inhale deeply and exhale slowly. Each breath is a return home. When we are fully in our breath, the mind no longer runs to past or future. We need not force peace. Presence itself is peace. Like a still lake reflecting the moon, when the mind is calm, wisdom and serenity arise naturally. An old monk used to tell his students, when you see someone acting wrongly, don't rush to judge. First, see if your own mind is disturbed. When someone scolds us, if our mind is agitated, we get angry. But if our mind is calm, their words pass like the wind. We are not angry because they are wrong, but because we let them control our mind. Once we understand this, we begin to protect our peace, not by avoiding people, but by keeping our mind unmoved before them. Not by changing the world, but by mastering our way of seeing it. One of the signs of a peaceful mind is the ability to smile in adversity, not because we pretend to be strong, but because we understand that everything happens for a reason. Sometimes suffering is a teacher, sometimes loss is an opportunity to let go. With the eyes of wisdom, we see that every experience is a lesson. And when we realize that nothing truly opposes us, that everything helps us grow, our hearts naturally become serene. Those who understand the Dharma don't need to force joy, for they no longer have reasons to be sad. Ultimately, this world is a mirror reflecting our own hearts. When our heart is full of love, the world becomes gentle. When our heart is grateful, life becomes precious. When our heart is pure, those around us become kind. The mind is the seed. What we plant is what life will bloom. Sow peace, meet peace. Sow hatred, meet hatred. So if you wish for peace around you, begin with one peaceful breath, one peaceful smile, one peaceful glance. Those who live with a peaceful mind are not easily swept away by the currents of life. They do not argue to win, nor try to prove themselves to gain recognition. They know there are things that do not need to be spoken, only lived. Their peace spreads like the fragrance of flowers, quiet yet lasting. Beside them, others also feel light and at ease, for there is no judgment or comparison. They are living proof of the saying, wherever a peaceful mind goes, there is a place of peace. Therefore, instead of wishing life would change yourself. When our mind is peaceful, we see that those who once irritated us are in fact just people who are suffering. When our mind is clear, we know how to love rather than judge. When our mind knows sufficiency, we see that life is already complete. There is nothing more to wait for, nothing to chase after. Everything we need, we already have. We only need enough stillness to recognize it. So if today life makes you weary, please do not rush to blame it. Return and care for your own mind. Let your heart settle like a lake after the wind. Then you will see that the world is the same, but the light within has changed. And when that light appears, all darkness naturally dissolves. In life, people always carry desires in their hearts: to have health, wealth, fame, a loving partner, dutiful children, a peaceful home, to have a smooth life without suffering or uncertainty. Yet the more we desire, the more anxious we become. The more we try to grasp happiness, the more it slips through our fingers, like chasing the moon's reflection on water. The harder we chase, the farther it drifts. That is the law of life. Happiness comes not when we strive to find it, but when we know how to pause. The Buddha taught, craving is the root of suffering. But craving here is not only for money or material things. It is also craving a mental state, wanting things our way, wanting to be at ease, wanting to be loved, wanting happiness forever. When desires are unmet, we feel disappointed. When they are fulfilled, we fear losing them. The cycle repeats, and we are never truly at peace. People think having more is happiness, but in truth, desiring less is peace. Someone once came to a Zen master and asked, "Master, I want to be at peace. What should I do?" The master smiled and said, "Drop the word want." The person was surprised. "If I drop want, what will I have left?" The master replied, "It is precisely because you want that you suffer." The words sound simple but are profound. It turns out that the very desire for peace is the barrier that prevents peace. For as long as we want, we are resisting the present. We do not accept what is. We want something else, something more, something better. And so the mind is never at rest. Letting go of craving does not mean living passively and letting things be. On the contrary, it is a state of wisdom, discerning what needs action and what should be released. We still work, still love, still strive, but with clarity, not from fear or lack. We act because it is right, because it is beautiful, not because we demand a specific result. When the mind is not burdened by must-have, everything becomes lighter. Do wholeheartedly, but do not cling. That is true freedom. A lay practitioner once shared, for years he prayed for his son's success, yet the boy kept failing. He grew despondent and thought the Buddha was not responsive, until one day he read a scripture. One who begs the Buddha without understanding karma is like sowing seeds on stone and waiting for flowers to bloom. At that moment, he awakened. He stopped praying and began helping his son by planting wholesome causes, teaching him kindness, good deeds, and learning from failure. After some time, his son matured, not only becoming successful but also grateful. The man smiled and said, "When I stopped begging, the good arrived." That is the power of releasing craving. People often think that if they have more, they will be happy. But in reality, happiness lies not in having more, but in knowing enough. One who knows enough feels warm even on a straw mat. One who does not know enough feels lacking even in a mansion. The Buddha taught, He who knows contentment, though lying on the ground, is at ease. He who does not know contentment, though in heaven, is not satisfied. When the heart knows enough, comparison and envy naturally fall away. Each passing day becomes a blessing, each breath a gift. In truth, desire is not inherently bad. Right aspiration can motivate us to live better. The issue is how we desire. If we desire with a clear mind, it becomes a vow. If we desire with attachment, it becomes suffering. A vow is action guided by wisdom. We plant wholesome causes and let the results unfold by conditions. Suffering is forcing the fruit to ripen according to our will. With a vow, we are proactive. With craving, we are reactive. Practitioners do not live without dreams, but their dreams are light because they know everything follows conditions, not compulsion. Look back at the pains that have passed in your life. Did most of them not begin with the word want? Wanting others to understand us, wanting everything to be fair, wanting love to be eternal, wanting the past to return, wanting the future guaranteed. But life is impermanent. No one can hold anything forever. The more we grasp, the more it hurts. The more we demand, the more we feel lacking. The more we chase, the farther it goes. When we stop and accept that life is just like this, suddenly we feel light. Not because life has changed, but because we no longer insist that it be different. Letting go of craving also opens the door to compassion. When we no longer place excessive expectations on others, empathy arises more easily. A husband no longer forces his wife to understand him. A father no longer compels his child to live by his will. A friend no longer expects perfection from a friend. When expectations fall, love begins to bloom. True love does not demand return. It simply wishes the other to be happy, even without us. When we love with a letting go heart, we are no longer hurt because love has become giving, not demanding. Letting go of craving is also the key to stillness. When the mind is no longer busy with "it must be this way or that," we can truly live in the present. A cup of hot tea, a gentle breeze, birdsong in the morning, such small things become infinitely precious. We do not need anything more to feel happy. Happiness has never been lost. We were simply busy searching elsewhere and could not see it, like standing in a lake and crying of thirst. When we know to pause and bend down, we realize happiness is right within reach. Some ask, if we don't crave, how can we strive? In fact, releasing craving does not stop us from striving. It helps us strive in the right way. We act not to prove ourselves, but to grow, to serve, to spread goodness. Then success or failure no longer matters, for each step is already joy. The Buddha taught, the path itself is happiness, not the destination. When we understand this, we no longer wait for happiness after achieving something. We are happy while living, breathing, working, and walking. And then we realize, when we stop demanding, everything is naturally sufficient. When we stop insisting that someone must understand us, the heart becomes calm. When we stop forcing ourselves to be perfect, we feel light. When we stop fearing loss, we feel safe. When we stop craving happiness, happiness arrives. Because happiness is not something we obtain, but a state of mind that knows enough and knows how to let go. Today, if your heart feels unsettled, please try to relax a little. Take a deep breath in, exhale gently, then smile and say softly, "I need nothing more, I am enough." These words may sound simple, but they can change your whole life. For when we truly feel enough, heaven and earth smile with us. Perhaps in life, everyone has once told themselves, "If I just had a little more, I'd be happy." A little more, a bigger house, a better job, a more perfect partner, or simply a bit more free time. Yet strangely, when we get that little more, another little more arises. And so we keep walking endlessly without ever stopping. Like a thirsty man in the desert, the more he drinks mirage water, the thirstier he becomes. The Buddha taught, "He who does not know how to stop, even if he owns the whole world, is still poor." Knowing enough does not mean ceasing to strive or refusing a better life, but knowing when to stop, knowing contentment with what we already have. Simplicity is not in having little, but in not being bound by much. A person with little but a generous heart lives as if they have everything. One with much but always feeling lacking lives in fear of loss. True happiness is simple. It is seeing beauty in the ordinary. Look back on your day. How many beautiful moments passed unnoticed because your mind was busy chasing what you didn't have. We eat without tasting the rice, sit with loved ones while our minds wander, work while thinking of tomorrow. Life flows like a river. We keep staring toward the end, forgetting to enjoy the gentle murmur of the present. Someone once said, "The happy person is not the one who has the most, but the one who rejoices in what they have." Indeed, only when we stop can we see how beautiful life is. Simplicity is not asceticism, but living with what is truly essential. A small home filled with laughter is warmer than a mansion full of disputes. A modest meal eaten in peace is worth more than a lavish feast consumed in anxiety. Simplicity is letting go of the excess to keep what's precious: time, health, and peace of mind. For we live only once, and the greatest regret is not having too little, but having enough and still not feeling joy. There was an old man in a village who sat by the river every morning to watch the sunrise. Someone asked, "Don't you get bored sitting here every day?" He smiled. "How could I? Each day the sunrise is a little different." Such simple words, yet so profound. He didn't need to go far to find joy. He just opened his heart to what was already there, and joy appeared. Simplicity sharpens awareness, helping us see beauty in life's smallest changes. In Buddhism, knowing enough is called tri-tuk. It does not mean forcing oneself into poverty, but understanding the limits of greed. Beyond that limit, we no longer own our possessions. They own us. The Buddha said, "He who knows enough is rich though poor. He who does not know enough is poor though rich." True wealth is wealth of heart, not of things. A rich heart gives without fear of lack and smiles, even when life doesn't go as planned. When we live simply, we also learn to see into the nature of happiness. We realize that most of what we chase only brings fleeting pleasure. A new possession, a compliment, a success, all fade quickly. What remains is the state of our mind afterward. If the mind is restless, no achievement will last. But when the mind is calm, even a cup of tea is enough to feel fulfilled. Simplicity also reconnects us with nature and ourselves. When we stop rushing, we can hear birds singing, rain falling, the rhythm of our own heartbeat. We understand that the most precious things are always around us. The breath, a smile, the morning light. There is no need to seek far, for peace is not in the destination, but in the way we walk. When we slow down, we see flowers on every path, stories in every person, and value in every day. In modern life, people often confuse living well with having more. We think doing more, owning more, knowing more is better, but the more we have, the more tangled our minds become. The Buddha taught that a true practitioner is not one with few tasks, but one who does many things with a peaceful heart. To do so, we must choose what truly matters. Some things seem impossible to let go of, yet once we do, we feel lighter. The wind is cool only when unobstructed. Water is clear only when unclouded, and the mind is calm only when it holds little. Simplicity is also a form of love. When we live simply, we stop competing and comparing, and compassion naturally grows. We see that everyone has their own story and path. We no longer need to be above anyone, for each person is already enough on their journey. When we know we are enough, our heart opens to others. We share and help without calculation, and discover that joy lies not in receiving, but in giving. A monk once said, "As long as there is one desire in your heart, you are not yet free." True freedom is when no desire governs us. We can still live well and work hard, but without inner bondage. Like a flower blooming in the field, it blooms fully, needing no praise. Simplicity is to live like that flower, quiet, pure, and free. If today your heart feels heavy, look around. Perhaps you are carrying too much that you don't need. It might be an object, an expectation, or an old worry. Try releasing just one thing, a possession, an anger, a fear, and notice how your heart feels lighter. Just that small act of letting go brings you halfway to peace. Indeed, life doesn't need much to be happy. Just a small home, someone to love, meaningful work, and a heart that knows enough. That is completeness. Don't seek happiness in the grand. It lives in a warm bowl of rice, a loved one's gaze, the warmth of your morning breath. When we pause, we realize happiness has never left us. We were simply moving too fast to see it. So enough now, stop searching. Desire less, compare less, chase less. Live as lightly as a breath, as simple as a heartbeat, as sincere as a smile. When we can live like that, happiness no longer needs to be found. It is already present in every moment of life. Among all the emotions that cause human suffering, fear may be the deepest and most persistent. We fear losing those we love, fear illness, fear loneliness, fear failure, fear criticism, fear time passing, fear one day having to leave this world. Sometimes nothing has even happened, yet fear seeps into every breath, making us overly cautious, overly anxious, utterly exhausted. But the Buddha taught that the root of all fear is attachment to self, believing there is a real me to lose. When we think this body, this wealth, this reputation are me or mine, of course we fear losing them. But looking deeply, we see that all are made of conditions. This body arises from the four elements here today, gone tomorrow. Possessions exist by the gathering of causes. When conditions meet, they appear. When conditions fade, they dissolve. People come and go as part of life's natural flow. Understanding this, fear loses its hold, because we see there is nothing truly ours to lose. Someone once asked a Zen master, "How can I stop fearing death?" The master smiled and said, "Live fully." The man didn't understand. The master continued, "Those who fear death are those who have never truly lived." It sounds paradoxical, yet it is truth. When we live in fear of loss, we have never truly lived. We hold back, we guard, we worry, and thus never taste the fullness of the present. One who lives fully in each moment has nothing left to fear, for they have already lived completely in that moment. Fear arises when the mind does not rest in the present. It comes from imagining the future or clinging to the past. We fear things not because they have happened, but because we imagine they might. Someone may lie safely in their room, yet their mind races into the future, worrying about losing their job, falling ill, or being unloved, and soon their heart pounds and palms sweat, all created by the mind. The Buddha said, "No enemy is more dangerous than the fearful thoughts within one's own mind." To end fear, we must first look straight at it. Instead of avoiding it, invite it to sit with you. When we dare to look, it weakens. When we run away, it grows stronger. Like darkness, just light a small lamp and it vanishes. Fear is the same. With the light of mindfulness, it will gradually dissolve. Try taking a deep breath and say to yourself, "I see the fear in me." Just see it. No need to drive it away. No need to judge it. That seeing is the beginning of freedom. The fear of loss is the most common kind. We fear losing money, people, status, health, youth. But in truth, there is nothing we can keep forever. Everything in life comes and goes according to impermanence. When we cling, we suffer. When we let go, we are at peace. A mother once said, "I fear the day my child grows up and leaves me." Yet when her child went away to study, she realized the child did not leave her, but simply entered a new stage. Love is not lost. It only changes form. Like a river flowing to the sea, water is still water. Understanding this, we no longer fear loss. We learn to turn loss into a chance to love more deeply. Some fears seem to be because of others, but in fact arise from a lack of faith in ourselves. When we believe we are weak, alone, and not enough, any disturbance throws us into panic. But when we understand that within us is Buddha nature, a capacity to endure, transform, and love, we are no longer afraid. That strength does not come from outside, but from deep trust in our own mind. One who knows they can stand up after falling no longer fears falling. Fear also fades as we learn to live with compassion and non-self. When the heart is full of love, there is no room for fear. We fear because we want to protect the I. But when we see ourselves in others, see that we and they are not two, fear turns into empathy. Like a mother who loves her child, she does not fear hardship for the child, because her heart is only love. Practitioners are the same. When compassion is large enough, fear grows small. When we know how to love, courage arises naturally. Compassion is the energy that soothes all fear. A very helpful practice is to breathe with fear. When afraid, do not try to suppress it. Sit still, place your hand on your chest, feel your heartbeat, and slow your breathing. Breathing in, know that you are afraid. Breathing out, smile and say, "I hold this fear with understanding." Just a few mindful breaths and body and mind will soften. This practice is like calming a frightened child, not scolding, just holding. When held, fear melts. And when fear melts, peace appears. One who does not fear loss, change, or loneliness is truly free. They need not cling to anyone or anything, because they know happiness lies within. They are not bound by reputation, praise, or others' approval. They can smile amid upheaval, understanding that all things come and go by conditions. Their mind is like the sky. When clouds come, it is shaded. When clouds go, it is bright. Yet the sky is never lost. The Buddha taught that the wise do not destroy fear with force, but with understanding. Understand that this body is temporary, that life is a convergence of conditions, that suffering too is a path leading us to wisdom. Seeing this deeply, fear turns into gratitude. We are grateful for what frightens us, because it makes us stronger and more humble. Whenever fear arises, ask, "What is this fear teaching me?" Perhaps a lesson about letting go, about trust, or about love. Once learned, fear naturally dissolves. One day we will realize, fear is just a wave on the ocean of consciousness. Do not try to drive it away, nor identify with it. Let it come, then let it go. We are the ocean, vast, deep, and steady. Understanding this, every disturbance is only a small ripple. And when we no longer fear loss, we are truly free. Freedom is not doing whatever we want, but not being bound by any emotion. When fear no longer governs us, the heart becomes light as a cloud. We live in the world, still loving, working, smiling, yet no longer dragged by fear. For having seen clearly that everything will pass, only one task remains: to live deeply, wholly, and gently. In life, nothing endures forever. Everything comes and goes, blooms and fades, arises and ceases. From a falling leaf, to the coming of the rains, to a strand of hair turning gray, to a loved one's departure, all are expressions of impermanence, the great law the Buddha revealed. Knowing this, we no longer ache too much when losing, nor become intoxicated when gaining. For behind every change lies a gentle truth. Nothing is fixed, and precisely by that, life continues. Many fear impermanence. They want to keep youth, keep loved ones, keep jobs, keep joy. But without impermanence, flowers would never bloom, children would never grow, and we would never learn to let go. Because of impermanence, every moment is precious. Knowing it will pass, we cherish each remaining second. Impermanence is not an enemy, but a teacher showing us how to live deeply and love rightly. The Buddha taught, "All conditioned phenomena are impermanent. Be diligent in practice. Do not be heedless." These were his final words before attaining nirvana. This means we recognize impermanence not to be sad, but to awaken. Knowing everything changes, we stop wasting our life on trifles. We do not stay angry long, knowing anger also fades. We stop clinging, knowing all things are temporary. Our heart becomes light, and we learn to choose what truly matters: love, understanding, and the present moment. A story in the scriptures tells of a man who lamented to the Buddha, "World-honored one, everything in life changes, and it frightens me." The Buddha looked at him kindly and said, "My child, precisely because everything changes, you can move beyond suffering. If suffering were permanent, who could ever be free?" The man was astonished, then smiled. "Indeed, if happiness does not last, neither does sorrow. When we are happy, we know it will pass, so we do not cling. When we are sad, we know it will pass, so we do not despair. That is the wisdom of understanding impermanence." An elder once said, "Youth passes quickly, but instead of grieving, I feel grateful, because as youth passed, I learned the slowness of today." Simple words, yet a great lesson. If we look at impermanence with gratitude, we see each life stage has its own beauty. In youth, we devote ourselves. In old age, we contemplate. In health, we serve. In weakness, we learn to rely. Each stage is a chance to understand ourselves more deeply. Impermanence also helps us appreciate those around us. Today, we can still hear our loved ones' laughter, still hold their hands. This is a blessing. Knowing impermanence, we will not waste time in resentment or blame, for we know that one day when they are gone, only memories remain. So while together, speak words of love, listen, forgive. Impermanence makes us love more, not fear loss. Modern life makes us forget this. We chase work, goals, and fame, forgetting that time waits for no one. Each dawn whispers, "Another day has passed." Yet we think we have plenty of time to love, to live, to change. Only when we lose someone do we wake up. Impermanence makes no appointment, so do not wait until it is late to understand. Live each day as if it were the last, yet gently as if we had forever to love. Some fear aging, illness, and death. But looking deeply, impermanence is the most fair and beautiful law of the universe. Everyone passes through it, none can avoid it. It makes us humble, kind, and willing to let go of pointless rivalries. Those who understand impermanence no longer wish to defeat others. They wish only to live lightly, helpfully, without regret. For they know that everything dissolves like clouds. Only a gentle heart endures. There is a beautiful saying by Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh. Thanks to impermanence, we can transform and grow. If everything were immutable, a flower would forever remain a bud, and a child would never become an adult. Impermanence is the flowing water that nourishes life. It helps us see that even suffering has its role, for without suffering, we would never know what peace is. Just as darkness makes us cherish the light, impermanence helps us live more meaningfully. A way to practice accepting impermanence is to observe each breath. Every inhalation is birth, every exhalation is death. We breathe in, we live, we breathe out, we let go. Between those two breaths lies an entire human life in miniature. If we live fully in each breath, we will no longer fear change, for change is no longer an enemy, but the natural rhythm of existence. Impermanence brings us back to that rhythm, gentle, fluid, and free. When we truly understand impermanence, we can smile in the face of all change, not because we are indifferent, but because we have seen through. We smile at aging, knowing it only marks maturity. We smile at loss, knowing it clears the way for what is new. We smile at suffering, knowing it too will pass. And within that smile shines the light of freedom, the light of one who lives with impermanence without being swept away by it. Impermanence does not take happiness away. It simply reminds us, live while you can, love while you still have each other, smile while you still have today, for no one knows what tomorrow will bring. But if we have lived wholeheartedly today, there will be nothing to regret tomorrow. At the deepest root of suffering, as the Buddha revealed, lies attachment to self, to the ideas of I, mine, and for me. Since childhood, we have been taught to build an identity. I am good, I am bad, I am right, I am wrong, I am loved, I am hurt. Our whole life revolves around protecting that I. Thus, most pain begins when that I is touched. When someone criticizes us, I feels hurt. When things don't go our way, I feels like a failure. When someone succeeds, I feels envy. The larger the self, the greater the suffering. The Buddha taught that non-self does not mean we do not exist, but that what we call I is merely a temporary collection of changing elements: body, mind, feelings, environment, memories, karma. All come and go. None is fixed. Like a flower, it cannot exist on its own, but depends on soil, water, light, air, and the gardener. Remove one element and it cannot bloom. Thus, flower is simply the manifestation of interdependent causes. Human beings are the same. We are only borrowing this body to express life. Understanding this, we become lighter. Without I to defend, to compare, to resent, what remains to suffer? Without I to be offended, we no longer react. Without I to be judged, we can listen. Without I to prove, we are free from comparison. As the self diminishes, compassion expands. In the fading of I, we touch boundless peace. One day, a disciple asked the Buddha, "Blessed One, who is the best practitioner?" The Buddha smiled and replied, "The one who no longer sees there is a practitioner." The answer seems paradoxical, yet it holds profound wisdom. As long as we think I am practicing, I am good, I am better, the self still exists. Only when our actions arise not from ego, but from love, wisdom, and benefit for all beings, that is true practice. One who does not cling to their virtue, who neither seeks praise nor fears blame, is truly liberated. In daily life, attachment to self shows up subtly. It hides behind phrases like, "I'm right," "I already know," "I do this because I care." But beneath them often lies the desire to control, to prove, to be acknowledged. As the ego grows, the heart tightens. The self becomes a wall that separates us from others and from ourselves. We stop listening, seeing only through the lens of our own opinions. The self is like dust on a mirror. It clouds our vision of truth. When we begin to practice non-self, life transforms. Every word and action becomes lighter, free from personal motives. We work not to be recognized, but because it needs to be done. We help not to be remembered, but because compassion calls us. We live not to be loved, but because being present is already love. As the self fades, clarity shines. There is no longer gain or loss, only authentic, natural action. One mark of non-self is the ability to truly listen and understand. When we are no longer busy defending ourselves, we can finally hear others, not just with the ears, but with the heart. Listening with the heart, we understand their suffering, and compassion arises naturally. The ego-bound suffer because they must always be right. The selfless are at peace because they only wish to understand. Understanding does not mean agreeing, it means not needing to argue. For we know that victory or defeat only wounds both sides. Once a Zen master was washing dishes when a student asked, "Master, what is non-self?" The master said nothing, handed him a clean bowl and said, "Look, when the bowl is dirty, we simply wash it. No need to think who dirtied it, who cleans it, or who gains from it. We just do what needs to be done, that is non-self." A simple answer, yet profound. When the self no longer interferes, all actions become clear as spring water. To act without seeing I am acting, that is the natural way of the Dharma. Living without self is not weakness, it is freedom in the midst of the world. The selfless are not easily offended, for they know that praise and blame are but passing winds. They are not trapped by fame or fortune, knowing both drift like clouds. They are not hurt when others forget them, because they give without expecting return. They seek not to win, knowing that in impermanence no one is above another. Thus the selfless live lightly and deeply. In truth, when we let go of I, we lose nothing, we gain everything. Without boundaries between ourselves and others, we see all beings as part of us. We love people, trees, even imperfections. We view all with compassionate eyes, and in that vision, the world becomes vast and luminous. Non-self is not disappearance but merging, like a drop of water blending into the sea. While it thinks, I am separate, the drop is small and fearful. Once it merges with the ocean, it is infinite and never lost. Practicing non-self also heals deep wounds within. When we see ourselves as the center, everything becomes my story. They hurt me. Life is unfair to me. But with the wisdom of non-self, we see that everyone acts according to their own karma and suffering. Those who hurt us do so because they themselves are in pain. Seeing that, we cease to resent and begin to love. In that moment, the heart is liberated. Non-self is the path to ultimate freedom. Without I and mind, what is there to fear, to hate, to grieve? All are just waves on the sea. The sea does not fight the waves nor cling to them. When waves rise, the sea is still the sea. When waves fade, it is still the sea. Likewise, practitioners remain calm amid praise and blame, gain and loss, joy and sorrow. That is the non-self mind, the mind that has returned home. Thus, non-self is not a theory but a way of living, a breath, an attitude each day. When we think less of ourselves, cling less to status, and argue less over right and wrong, we are already walking the path of non-self. And when we walk far enough, we realize there is no one to defeat, nothing to keep, nowhere to go. For in the very moment we release the I, nirvana is already here. The Buddha once taught, understanding is the foundation of love. That concise saying is the very essence of the whole path of practice. For if we only love without understanding, that love easily becomes attachment, expectation, even suffering. But when we understand deeply, that love becomes light, clear, and vast. Those who understand naturally know how to love rightly. Those who do not understand, no matter how much they love, make both themselves and others suffer. We often think love is an emotion, a trembling of the heart. But in Buddhism, true love is an act of wisdom. Wisdom here is not scholarship or information, but the capacity to see the nature of suffering. When we understand that others are suffering, we no longer get angry with them. When we understand that everyone is walking their own path, we stop judging. When we understand that we too have erred, we can forgive easily. Understanding is the light that guides love so it does not go astray. Someone says, I love my family so much. Why do I still suffer because of them? Because within that love there remains expectation and possessiveness. We love yet want them to live according to our wishes, to behave as we expect. When they cannot, we are disappointed. When they follow their own road, we feel abandoned. Thus, love turns into suffering. The Buddha taught that to love without suffering, we must begin with understanding. Understand that everyone has their own karma, circumstances, and freedom. With that understanding, we will know how to step back, not to create distance, but to give them space to be themselves. A mother once shared, "I love my child so much that I always told him to be careful, to study well, to succeed. But the more I loved, the farther he drifted." One day she read, "To love is not to hold, but to support." She reflected for a long time and began to change how she loved. She stopped imposing, simply listened, and only shared when her child needed it. And wondrously, when she stopped controlling, their relationship became closer. That love was no longer a sigh, but the smile of understanding. Understanding and love cannot be separated. Understanding without love becomes rigid. Love without understanding becomes blind. Wisdom without compassion turns cold. Compassion without wisdom turns weak. The Buddha taught that these two are like a bird's wings. Only when both open can we truly soar. When wisdom illuminates compassion, we no longer help for praise, but because it is right to do so. When compassion nourishes wisdom, we are no longer harsh, but empathize with others' limits. The two merge into one, forming a strength that is gentle yet steadfast. When we truly understand someone, we cannot help but love. Seeing their suffering clearly, we naturally soften. A person who often snaps is not evil, they are suffering. One who speaks harshly may never have heard gentle words. One who seems cold may be afraid of being hurt. Seeing thus, anger turns into love, resentment into sympathy, and at that very moment, our own heart is the first to be liberated. The one we love may not change, but we already suffer less because of them. In every relationship, if we look only with the eyes, we see faults. If we look with the heart, we see suffering. But if we look with wisdom, we see causes and conditions. Understanding causes and conditions, we do not blame others nor ourselves. Everything that comes arrives to teach us something, to be more patient, more humble, to listen more, to love more rightly. Seeing this way, everyone in life becomes our teacher. Those who bring us joy teach gratitude. Those who bring us sorrow teach letting go. Once a disciple asked a Zen master, "How can I love the unlovable?" The master replied, "Begin by seeing their suffering. The hard to love are those who suffer much. They act rigidly because they are full of fear inside. They speak harshly because their hearts are wounded. If we see only the shell, we will be angry. If we see the root, we will love. To love is not to condone, but to not hate. When hatred falls away, we can truly help by offering the energy of our own peace. Understanding in order to love applies not only to others, but also to ourselves. Many suffer from lacking kindness toward themselves. We often forgive others easily, yet are strict with ourselves. When wrong, we blame ourselves. When tired, we push harder. When sad, we forbid tears. But with deep understanding, we see we are only human, sometimes weak, sometimes weary. Understanding ourselves, we know how to hold ourselves gently. Only when we love ourselves rightly can we truly love others, for an unhealed heart cannot heal anyone. Practicing understand to love is not grand. It begins with small things. Letting someone finish their sentence, asking about someone with genuine care, or simply pausing before judging. Whenever we are about to get angry, ask, "What is this person suffering from?" That question can change our whole reaction. When understanding arises, anger cannot coexist. When anger is gone, love appears. Love grounded in understanding has no limits. It is not only for our kin, but for all. Seeing anyone in pain, we feel tenderness. Seeing anyone happy, we rejoice. With such inclusiveness, the boundary between me and others dissolves. That is when we truly touch the spirit of non-self, compassion, wisdom taught by the Buddha. When understanding and love become one, life becomes simple. We no longer strain to forgive. Forgiveness arises naturally. We do not try hard to love. Love has become the heart's instinct. Understanding is light. Love is fragrance. When light shines, fragrance spreads. When understanding is deep, love is true. And when love is true, suffering dissolves without needing to be destroyed. Therefore, if we wish to live in peace, begin with something simple. Learn to understand others, ourselves, and life. Each day, add just a little more understanding, and we will feel our hearts grow wider, lighter, and warmer. For when understanding is present, forgiveness is unnecessary. Anger has already gone. Sometimes what others need is not advice, but someone willing to sit and listen. Someone who does not rush to judge, who does not interrupt, who does not try to fix, just listens with full presence. Such listening seems simple, yet it is a profound practice of compassion. For when we truly listen, we not only hear others, we also hear our own mind, whether there remain prejudices, irritation, or closed doors within. The Buddha taught, skillful listening is a noble form of giving. It is no accident he regarded listening as a virtue. In every word spoken there is suffering, and when we are quiet enough to hear fully, we open a door for their heart to be lightened. Some things people have carried for years, unable to tell anyone. With just one listener who does not judge, they are already half-healed. Yet in modern life, we rarely truly listen. While others speak, we prepare our replies. When they share sadness, we rush to offer advice. When they admit a wrong, we immediately judge. Thus, though sitting there, we are not truly listening. Listening with the ears touches only sound. Listening with the heart touches the silent suffering behind the words. Once, someone lamented to a Zen master, "Master, the more I listen to my friend, the more irritated I get. I want to help, but only feel angry." The master smiled, "Because you listen with the ego, not with compassion." The person was surprised. The master explained, "Listening with the ego is listening to react, to evaluate, to prove, to teach others. Listening with compassion is listening to understand. You only need to be still, open your heart, and say nothing at all. When your mind is quiet, you will hear what they do not say. Those words are profoundly deep. When we listen with the heart, we hear the silence between sentences, the loneliness in a voice, the worry in a sigh, the pain within silence itself. And when we can hear that, there is no need to speak. Our eyes, our breath, our presence become a refuge for the other. That is listening that heals. Listening with the heart does not require perfection, only true presence. To be present means not being caught by the phone, not worrying about other things, not comparing. In that moment, we temporarily let go of the knowing self, the judging self, and simply become a space in which the other can breathe. When we become a peaceful silence, others dare to reveal what they have never told anyone. They feel the energy of acceptance and their hearts naturally open. But listening is not only for others, it is also for ourselves. Sometimes we are the noisiest with our own hearts. Busy all day, we forget to hear the call of our body, our feelings, our soul. Some sadness we push away, some wounds we suppress, some exhaustion we hide with strength. Yet even if we ignore them, they remain, quietly making us uneasy. If we never sit down to listen to ourselves, we will keep running, keep escaping, and never truly be at peace. When we sit, breathe slowly, and ask, "What is in me right now?" we begin to listen. It may be fear, loneliness, or just fatigue. Do not judge, do not resist. Simply listen with gentleness, as if listening to a crying child. When the child feels heard, it quiets. When an emotion is acknowledged, it dissolves. The Buddha taught, mindfulness is the energy that allows us to recognize without identifying. When we listen to ourselves with mindfulness, we are no longer swept away by feelings. We begin to understand them. And understanding is the beginning of healing. Many think listening is an outer act, but it is truly an inner journey. Listening is the process of returning to our heart, brushing off the dust of judgment, becoming humble and still. Each time we listen to someone, we learn more about ourselves. Are we patient enough, kind enough, listening to understand or to react? The more we practice, the softer, lighter, and more loving we become. One evening, a woman said she often argued with her husband. "Whatever I say, he doesn't listen. And when he talks, I don't listen either," she lamented. The Zen master asked, "Have you two ever truly listened to each other, or just waited for your turn to speak?" The question silenced her. For most conflicts do not arise from a lack of love, but from a lack of listening. When both only want to be understood, but refuse to understand, love cools. Yet when one person listens, the other heart naturally softens. Listening is also a daily practice. When hearing someone speak, remind yourself, "I am listening with my heart, not my reactions." When hearing someone confide, think, "This person is suffering. I will be a safe space for them to speak." And when listening to yourself, say, "I am here. I hear you." Those words alone can soothe the soul. For no one wants to be abandoned, not even our own heart. Sometimes what we need is not an answer, but a space to be heard. And when we can give that gift to another, we are practicing the deepest compassion. Listening is not to solve, but to let others feel seen, acknowledged, and loved. When they feel that, they will find their own answers. Like a still lake, when calm, the bottom appears on its own. We need not stir the water to see clearly. We just sit quietly in listening. When we know how to listen, we become sowers of peace in a noisy world. We need no eloquence, no reasoning, just true presence and a tranquil heart. One who can listen is one who carries healing energy. Their stillness calms the storms in others. And when others are peaceful, we too are peaceful. For deep down, there is no boundary between listener and the listened. Ultimately, listening with the heart is listening with unconditional love. We need not understand everything, nor agree, only open our hearts to receive. When we do, we see that every being, no matter how much they suffer, only needs a bit of understanding, a bit of comfort, a bit of peace. And we can offer that, not with money or words, but with ears that know silence and a heart that knows love. Among the three poisons, greed, anger, and ignorance, anger burns the fastest and destroys the most. It is like a small flame at night. Just one gust of wind makes it rage. A single unpleasant word, a wrong gesture, an untimely silence, all can ignite our fury. In that instant, we are no longer ourselves. The mind clouds, words become blades, actions become blows. The Buddha taught, anger is the fire that burns the forest of merit. Just a spark can destroy years of cultivation. Anger itself is not the enemy, but when we fail to understand it, we turn it into poison. Anger arises from a sense of hurt, when we feel belittled, misunderstood, or insulted. Yet, instead of looking deeply into our own pain, we turn outward to blame others. Without understanding its root, we react. With understanding, we know how to care for it. Anger is like a crying child. If we hold it gently, it will quiet. If we scold, it will scream louder. Emotions are the same, Only when recognized by mindfulness do they dissolve. One day, someone asked a Zen master, "Master, I often lose my temper. I know anger is bad, but I cannot control it." The master replied, "You cannot extinguish fire with fire. When angry, you need water." The man asked, "Where is that water?" The master said, "It is in your breath." Simple words, but a profound teaching. When anger rises, just stop and breathe. Breathing in, know you are angry. Breathing out, say softly to yourself, "I am holding my anger with my breath." A few such breaths are enough to regain calm. No need to suppress, just be aware. That awareness is the cool water of wisdom. Anger is not evil, it is a signal. It shows there is unhealed pain inside. Sometimes we think we are angry at others, but truly we are angry at ourselves, for expecting too much, for trusting too deeply, for feeling unappreciated. Seeing this, we no longer seek revenge, but begin to heal. For we know those who hurt us are simply those who do not yet understand, who do not yet know how to love. If we respond with anger, we only continue the cycle of suffering. But if we stop, we break the chain of hatred. One person once shared, "My teenage son often argued and spoke harshly. One day he yelled at me and I trembled with anger. But seeing his teary eyes, realizing he too was angry and in pain, I could not scold. I just breathed and stayed silent. Minutes later, he hugged me and said, 'I'm sorry.'" That story shows the power of one who knows how to stop. Anger cannot be calmed by anger, only by stillness. When one side stays calm, the storm subsides, as wind cannot stir still water. The Buddha taught that within each of us lie seeds of anger and seeds of compassion. Which one grows depends on which we water. Every time we are angry and feed it with thoughts like, "They're wrong, I'm right," the seed of anger grows stronger. But if we stop, breathe, and think, "They are suffering too," the seed of compassion grows. When anger comes, do not reject it. Open your heart and look at it with the light of understanding. When seen, anger weakens. When loved, anger dissolves. A deep practice is to write down the things that make us angry, then read them again with a calm mind. Reading them again, we will see that many things are not worth it at all. Sometimes it is only a misunderstanding, sometimes only a difference in viewpoint. Anger tends to exaggerate problems. When we are composed, big things shrink and small things disappear. Clarity appears only when the mind has settled. Anger can also become our teacher. It shows us that we are still attached, still holding a self, still craving to be right, to be understood. Each bout of anger is a chance to look in the mirror. What am I clinging to? When we see this, anger is no longer frightening but becomes a lesson. We thank it, because thanks to it, we know we must cultivate more patience and loving kindness. The anger subsides, and in those ashes, the seed of understanding sprouts. One who knows how to release anger is not someone without emotions, but one who can master them. When angry, they know they are angry. When speaking, they know what energy their words carry. They do not let anger decide their actions, but let wisdom lead the way. Anger is fire, wisdom is water. Water does not extinguish fire by violence, but by coolness. The wise do not run from anger, but hold it like a crying child in their arms. When held, it calms. When calm, it turns into understanding, then into love. Remember, those who hurt us are usually those who are suffering. If they were happy, they would not cause us pain. When we understand this, we no longer want to retaliate, but wish to heal both sides. Forgiveness is not because they deserve it, but because we deserve peace. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and waiting for the other to die. Releasing anger is like letting a heavy stone drop from the heart so it can breathe. Someone asks, "How can I let go of anger when the other is clearly wrong?" The Buddha taught that letting go of anger does not mean accepting what is wrong. but not allowing our mind to be controlled by that wrong. We can still speak up and act, but with the energy of understanding, not resentment. Like fire placed inside a lamp, it gives light. Released into the wind, it burns. When we act in calm, we are far more lucid and powerful than when we act in rage. Letting go of anger is one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves. When anger dissolves, we see clearly that happiness was never lost. It was only veiled by smoke. When the smoke clears, the light appears. And in a garden, only when there is no fire can green shoots grow. Releasing anger does not make us weak, it makes us strongest, strong in gentleness. If today you are angry with someone, do not rush to force forgetting or forgiveness. Just sit down, breathe very slowly, and whisper, "I see the anger in me and I am smiling at it." Each breath is a drop of water falling onto the flame. After a while, you will see only a light smoke drifting away, and your heart will be clear like a lake. Then you will understand why the Buddha taught, "No flame can burn one who knows how to love." In life, everyone is wounded sometimes, by family, by friends, even by those we trusted most. Their words, actions, or even their silence can be like a small blade in the heart. Years may pass, yet the wound remains, not on the skin, but inside. We think we have forgotten, but one reminder brings the pain back. The Buddha taught, "Hatred is never appeased by hatred. Only by compassion is hatred appeased." And within that compassion, forgiveness is the first step. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting or pretending it never happened. Forgiveness is choosing to put down the burden we have carried too long. It is understanding that holding resentment is like gripping a hot coal. The first to be burned is ourselves. Some say, "I cannot forgive because they were wrong." But if we wait until others deserve forgiveness, we may suffer all our lives. Forgiving is not to give them peace, but to give ourselves peace. There is a story of two prisoners released from jail. One lived peacefully, the other still held hatred. When they met again, the latter asked, "Did you truly forgive them?" The first smiled. "If I had not, I would still be imprisoned, only now inside my own heart." Forgiveness, it turns out, is opening the prison door for ourselves to step out. Only when we stop chaining ourselves to others' mistakes are we truly free. The reason we find it hard to forgive is not cruelty, but entanglement with the past. We want justice, want someone to pay, want them to know how they hurt us. But life does not run by our will. The other may never see their fault or come back to apologize. If we keep waiting, we will remain in suffering. Forgiveness is accepting that we cannot change the past, but we can change how we live with it. A woman shared that her husband betrayed her after 10 years of marriage. She suffered, resented, and lost sleep for years. During a retreat, she heard a Zen master say, "Forgiveness is not for others, but so that our own heart may rest." That night she sat quietly, inhaled and exhaled, and said softly, "I forgive you so that I may be free." From that day she slept soundly. The man did not change, but the hatred in her lost its power. Forgiveness unlocked a heart long imprisoned. The Buddha taught that the root of forgiveness is understanding. When we understand, we do not have to force forgiveness. Seeing that the other acted as they did because they too were suffering and ignorant, we naturally feel lighter. No one who is happy makes others suffer. No one at peace needs to lie, betray, or be cruel. They act that way because darkness is in them. Seeing this, we cease to resent and compassion arises, and precisely then we are freed from suffering. But forgiveness does not happen in a day. Sometimes we must practice many times, little by little. Today we may only sit and whisper, "I am still angry, but I want to learn to forgive." Tomorrow we try to think of them with a little less anger. A week later we may send them a wish for peace. Gradually, hatred fades like morning mist. Forgiveness is not self-forcing, but a process from understanding to release. Sometimes the one we need to forgive is ourselves. For years, we blame and torment ourselves for what we did wrong. If only I had not said that. If only I had acted differently. Such if-onlys are ropes tying us to the past. Forgiving ourselves is not denying mistakes, but acknowledging them, learning the lesson, then moving on. The Buddha never asked us to be perfect. He taught us to know our wrongs, correct them, and love ourselves more after each stumble. Forgiveness also does not mean returning or allowing others to keep hurting us. Forgiveness is in the heart. In reality, we still need wisdom. We can forgive and still keep distance. We can love and still protect ourselves. Forgiveness does not make us weak, it makes us stronger, for only the courageous dare to release resentment, and only the wise understand that clinging to anger is a punishment for ourselves. A simple practice is this. Each night before sleep, sit quietly for a few minutes, inhale and exhale gently, then say to yourself, I release all that is unsettled from today. I will not carry it into my sleep. Practiced regularly, we will feel our hearts soften and our sleep deepen. Forgiveness is not a grand gesture, but many small releases each day. Each time we are a little less angry, a little less judgmental, we take a step on the path of liberation. And one day we realize that the one who once hurt us is now only a memory. We no longer tremble when we think of them. The heart no longer aches. Only gratitude remains, because they, knowingly or not, helped us learn the great lesson of letting go and understanding. Without those wounds, we would never know how vast our heart can be. Forgiveness is a gift we give to others, but the recipient is ourselves. When we forgive, we tell our heart, I choose peace over suffering. I choose to walk toward the light instead of staying in the dark. And when the mind lets go of one resentment, the world within us grows brighter by one region. If there is someone in your life you still cannot forgive, do not force it. Just begin with the wish to forgive. Even that wish is already a wholesome seed. In time, that seed will sprout, grow, and bloom into a flower of peace in your heart. And when it blooms, you will understand why the Buddha taught, forgiveness is the shortest path to happiness. Deep within, everyone carries expectations. We expect from family, from children, from friends, from work, even from ourselves. We hope they understand us, love us, and live according to what we believe is right. We hope children are obedient, spouses understanding, friends sincere, life smooth. Expectation itself is not evil, but when we cling to it, suffering begins. The more we want things to go our way, the more disappointed we become when life does not comply. The Buddha taught, the root of suffering is craving, desire, and attachment. Expectation is a subtle form of attachment. It makes us believe we are loving, but in truth, we are trying to control. When we say, I love you, just don't change, that is not love, but possession. When we say, I trust you, but you must do as I say, that is not trust, but expectation. And when these are unmet, we feel sad, angry, resentful, because expectations are never fully satisfied in an impermanent world. A mother once said, I only want my child to be happy. Yet when her child chose a career different from her wishes, she felt hurt and thought her child ungrateful. Only after hearing a monk say, another's happiness cannot be shaped by your mold, did she realize that even love labeled as care can still be bondage. She learned to step back, to watch her child stumble and rise again, and to smile. In that moment, she truly loved. Love without condition, love without outcome. When we let go of expectation, we do not lose love. Love becomes purer and freer. We love for the sake of love itself, not for reward. We help because it is needed, not to be thanked. We work because it feels meaningful, not to be praised. Without the weight of expectation, we act calmly, lightly, joyfully. For when we expect nothing, everything becomes a gift. Someone asked, if we have no expectations, will we still try? The Buddha taught that letting go of expectation is not letting go of effort, but letting go of attachment to results. We still do our best, but without forcing the outcome. Like a gardener planting seeds, he tends the soil, waters carefully, but cannot command the seed to sprout on his chosen day. He does his part and lets nature do the rest. The wise live the same way, fully present in each action, yet not ruled by the result. When we act for the joy of doing, not the craving for outcome, every act becomes meditation. Expectation also makes us easily disappointed in ourselves. We set standards too high. I must always be happy, successful, right. When we fail, we blame ourselves and feel unworthy. But through mindfulness, we see no one is perfect, not even us. Everyone is learning, and every stumble is part of the journey. When we let go of expectation toward ourselves, we begin to live more gently. We no longer need to become someone else, just return to being who we are, enough, simply enough, and at peace. In relationships, expectation is often the root of discord. We want others to understand us, though we have not understood them. We want them to act as we wish, forgetting each has their own karma and view. When they do not, we feel betrayed, while they are merely being true to themselves. Seeing this, we stop trying to change others. We learn to accept differences, and within that acceptance, love becomes enduring. A Zen master once said, when you no longer expect the flower to bloom, you find it beautiful even before it does. That is the essence of letting go of expectation. When we stop forcing life to be beautiful, we begin to see beauty everywhere. When we no longer need others to love us, we realize our own heart is already full of love. When we no longer need life to be perfect, we find each breath a miracle. The more we release, the more we see that peace lies not in gaining more, but in knowing enough in every moment. Sometimes we expect that if we live kindly, life will be fair, but reality is not always so. Some gentle souls still suffer, some unkind ones still prosper. The Buddha taught that karma does not follow instant desires. Everything ripens in its time. Our task is to sow wholesome seeds and let conditions decide the fruit. With this understanding, we stop resenting, stop asking why, and rest in trust in the law of cause and effect. Letting go of expectation does not make us indifferent. It makes us more genuine and compassionate, for our love is no longer conditioned. We still dream, still strive, but know that whether we succeed or fail, we are whole. Those who do not over-expect know how to enjoy the present. They do not wait for happiness to come. They are happy in each step. If today you feel heavy because things have not gone your way, try sitting down, closing your eyes, and asking, what am I expecting from others, from life, or from myself? Then take a deep breath, exhale, and say, I let go. Just those 2 words can free you from years of exhaustion, for when demands fall away, the heart returns to its innate freedom. And when the heart is no longer tangled in expectation, we finally know what it means to love. To love without needing love in return, to give without needing to receive, to live without needing to prove. Then each day drifts by light as a cloud, calm as water, deep as autumn's sky, with nothing to chase, only the joy of simply being. In today's competitive world, people seem to always be running for money, fame, praise, superiority, or just to forget themselves. But the more we run, the more weary we become, for inside a voice keeps whispering, not enough. Whatever we have is not enough. Once attained, we want more. Once gained, we fear losing it. The Buddha taught, "One who knows contentment, even lying on the ground, is at peace. One who does not know contentment, even in heaven, remains restless." A simple sentence, yet the key to inner freedom. Knowing enough does not mean giving up or being careless. It means recognizing the line between rightful aspiration and endless desire. We can still work hard and strive, but not be ruled by greed. We know when to stop, when to appreciate what is. For when the mind is peaceful, all things are enough. When the mind is lacking, even the whole world feels empty. An old story tells of a rich king who heard of a poor man always joyful. Curious, the king asked, "What makes you so happy?" The man replied, "Your Majesty, I have eyes to see the sunrise, hands to work, a roof to rest, a family to love. Is that not enough?" The king fell silent, realizing he had everything yet never peace. Wealth or poverty, it turns out, lies not in possessions but in perception. A contented mind does not compare. When we stop comparing, we stop suffering. Comparison is the root of discontent. We look at others richer, prettier, more successful, and feel lacking. But we forget that each walks a unique path and karma. The rich may lose health, the famous lack peace, the loved lack freedom. Seeing this, we feel grateful for our portion and know that no one has it all. Contentment is also learning to cherish small things. A simple meal, a quiet sleep, an evening watching clouds. These we often overlook, yet they are true happiness. Many only realize the value of health when sick, or the worth of an embrace after loss. Knowing enough awakens us from the intoxication of wanting more. It reminds us happiness lies not in adding but in subtracting. Less craving, less worry, less fear, that is true abundance. In the age of technology, we are easily swept into the illusion of lack. Social media makes us compare endlessly. Everyone seems happier, more capable, more complete. But what we see is only the surface. Knowing enough helps us pause and return within. Inside, if we are still breathing, still loving, still learning something each day, then we are already enough. Not because we do not wish to improve, but because we understand. Peace does not lie in more or less, but in being. Someone asked a Zen master, "How can the mind know contentment in a society that always demands progress?" He replied, "Progress is not wrong as long as you do not lose your peace along the way." Where that answer reminds us that knowing enough does not hinder growth but helps us grow healthily. Those who know enough work with joy, not fear. They need not defeat anyone. They only need to do their part well. They do not have to run from lack because their hearts are already full. And precisely because of that, they attract even more blessings. In daily life, knowing enough can begin with very small things. When eating, we chew slowly to taste the flavors. That is knowing enough. When shopping, we pause and ask, "Do I really need this?" That is knowing enough. When we see others succeed without envy, that is knowing enough. When we see a rainless morning as something to be glad about, that is knowing enough. With each such moment of recognition, our hearts widen, lighten, and happiness naturally arises. Knowing enough is also a way to nurture gratitude, because when we see enough, we see grace. We are grateful to the one who cooks our meal, to the one who sweeps the road we walk, to the one who plants the rice we eat, grateful even to heaven and earth for our breath. When we are grateful, we no longer demand. We see each passing day as a gift, whether joyful or sad, smooth or rough. For adversity itself is a lesson that helps us understand others and ourselves more deeply. Some say, "I will feel enough when I have a house, money, status." Oh, but if the mind is not enough, nothing will ever be enough. If the mind knows enough, then even a small roof and a warm bowl of rice can bring a smile. Those who know enough do not chase happiness. They carry happiness with every step. They can live simply without lack, work less without worry, speak little without sorrow, because their hearts are at peace. The Buddha taught, wealth is not having much, but knowing enough. Understanding this, we stop competing and cease to be weary. We still work and strive, but with an easy mind. We still live in the world, but are not dragged by it. Each morning on waking, it is enough to know we are alive, still have the chance to love, and can still smile. A contented mind is the foundation of peace, happiness, and wisdom. When we know enough, we no longer fear loss, because we no longer fear lack. Without the fear of lack, we are truly free. And when free, we truly live. In a noisy world of wanting more, the one who knows enough is the richest. Rich because within them lies an entire sky of peace. Perhaps one of the hardest habits to release is the urge to control everything. We want to control work results, others' behavior, our own emotions, even what has not yet happened. We want everything to follow our will, thinking only then we can rest easy. But the more we grasp, the more exhausted we become. Life is like a river. The more we try to hold it, the faster it flows. Only when we let go can the water find its way to the sea. The Buddha taught, all things arise from conditions. When conditions are sufficient, they come. When conditions end, they go. To understand this is to understand the limits of control. We can only plant causes, we cannot force results. We can make effort, but cannot command outcomes. When we try to control what lies beyond our reach, we are sacrificing our own peace. In truth, many things in life need no grasping from us. They will still flow in the right direction, and when we interfere, we make them more tangled. Like someone who wants a flower to bloom sooner and peels back the petals, the flower wilts. A young woman once shared, I always want everything perfect. When others don't do things my way, I feel uneasy. I thought I had to control to feel safe. After years of exhaustion, she visited a Zen master. He listened and smiled. Can you make the wind stop? She said, I cannot. He continued, then don't try to stop the wind. Learn to adjust the sail. She burst into tears. She realized control is not power, but a burden. When we learn to slacken the sail, the wind can carry us farther. The urge to control arises from fear. Fear of loss, hurt, disappointment, criticism. Because we fear, we try to control others, wanting them to love us, understand us, follow us. But love forced into a mold soon becomes suffocating. When we make someone live by our expectations, they lose freedom and we lose peace. Only by letting go can we allow love to return to its essence, freedom and vastness. Letting go of control is not abandoning responsibility. Letting go means knowing what is our part and what belongs to conditions. Our part is to try wholeheartedly, speak with sincerity, and act with a clear heart. The part of conditions is how results unfold. Who understands, who changes or not, those are not in our hands. Knowing that boundary, we begin to live lightly. Everything we do becomes unhurried yet profound. For we are no longer bound by results, but focused on the quality of the present moment. Someone asked, if we don't control, won't everything fall into chaos? The Buddha taught that when our mind is at peace, all things are at peace. When we do not interfere excessively, everything returns to its proper place. Like water, stir it and it turns muddy. Leave it alone and it clears. Life has its own natural order. What makes us feel chaotic is simply a mind that refuses to be still. Letting go is not neglect, but trust in the flow of causes and conditions. In a family, a mother worried about her child. Where they go, what they say, whom they meet, I want to know it all. The more she worried, the further the child drifted. Only when she learned that love cannot be held by the rope of control did she truly come closer. She stopped pressing and simply said, "I trust you." Strangely, when she let go, the child opened up. Everyone needs freedom to grow, and only in the space of trust can love endure. Letting go of control is also letting go of the ego that insists it must be this way. Each person, each matter, each situation has its own karma. We cannot force someone to mature at our pace, nor can we make life always go smoothly. Sometimes what we want is not what is best for us. Sometimes what goes wrong opens another door, truer and more beautiful. Only when we release our urge to control can we see the blessings hidden within adversity. When we let go, life naturally softens. We no longer rage because others are not as we wish, nor lose sleep over what has not happened. We begin to see things unfold in their own way, sometimes slow, sometimes fast, but always for a reason. One who no longer seeks to control does not become weak. They become steady, for they trust in karma and the wisdom of life. A small lesson in meditation is, just breathe, do not try. Breathing is the most natural act, yet many still try to breathe, making it heavy. When we relax, the breath becomes deep and light. Life is the same. When we stop forcing it to follow our will, it becomes gentle. For the best things arrive when we do not coerce them. Flowers bloom when there is enough sun. Rain falls when there are enough clouds. Happiness comes when conditions are sufficient. Letting go of control is also a lesson in trust. Trust that even without holding everything, life still moves in order. Trust that what comes is meant to come, and what goes is meant to go. Trust that after every rain, the sky will clear again. When we believe this way, the heart rests, no longer anxious about the past, no longer fearful of the future, simply living deeply in the present. And within that present moment, miracles always unfold. One day, you will realize that every beautiful thing in life comes when you stop forcing. When you stop trying to grasp, happiness naturally rests in your hands. When you stop demanding to understand everything, things become clear on their own. When you stop trying to control others, they open their hearts. And when you stop trying to control yourself, you finally understand who you are. Letting go of control is not losing power, but returning to the natural state of the mind. When the mind no longer resists life's current, life is no longer a battle, but a melody with its own rhythm, sometimes low, sometimes high, yet always harmonious. And you only need to listen, smile, and let the melody play as it is. In this life, the only certainty is that everything changes. Nothing remains forever. The day fades, flowers wither, people grow old, and what we hold today may slip away tomorrow. Impermanence is not a sad warning, but a truth to be deeply understood, so we may live peacefully amid change. For only by looking directly at impermanence can we truly cherish each passing moment. The Buddha taught, all conditioned things are impermanent. Where there is birth, there is death. Where there is union, there is separation. Yet most people live as if everything will last forever. We love without thinking of parting, stay young, forgetting time, waits for none, live unaware that each breath might be the last. Because we forget impermanence, we cling, we worry, we fear, we hurt. But once we understand impermanence, fear dissolves, for we know that suffering too is impermanent. When we are sad, sadness does not stay forever. When we suffer, pain also fades. When we lose, there will come a day we gain again. That is the natural rhythm of life. Understanding this, we no longer resist change, but learn to flow with it, like a boat that follows the river instead of fighting the current. The wise do not seek to keep things the same, but to live peacefully in every circumstance. A Zen master once said, "There is nothing that truly belongs to us to lose." At first, it sounds detached, But in truth, it is the teaching of freedom. For when we no longer cling to mine, my people, my life, we no longer fear loss. What comes, we welcome. What goes, we bow farewell. Impermanence reveals the limits of control and opens our hearts to receive life as it is. No longer must be this way or that, only it is this way. A friend of mine once went through a great collapse. She lost her job, her beloved, and her faith. For a long time, she lived in despair, until one day she heard the Buddha's teaching. What arises by conditions also ceases by conditions. She began to sit quietly and breathe. Each morning she whispered, "This too shall pass." And gradually it did. Sorrow passed, suffering passed, and peace returned. Now she often smiles and says, "Impermanence didn't steal my happiness. It taught me to live fully in every moment I still have." Understanding impermanence helps us live more deeply with those we love. Knowing they will not be with us forever, we cherish every embrace, every word, every shared sunset. We waste no time on anger, knowing anger too will fade. But sometimes the one we wish to apologize to may already be gone. Impermanence teaches us to love right now, before regret arrives too late. For the elderly, impermanence teaches acceptance of a changing body without fear. This body is formed from the four elements, coming together, then parting. No one can keep it forever. Each wrinkle, each gray hair is a mark of a lived journey, a witness to all the love, lessons, and experiences endured. Instead of sadness, we can smile at these changes, like a gardener smiling at fallen leaves, knowing they nourish new buds to come. For the young, understanding impermanence is learning to release fear of the future. No one knows what tomorrow holds, and because of that, today becomes precious. We need not foresee everything ahead. We only need to live fully in the present. When we dwell deeply in each breath, each step, we have already lived a whole life in that single moment. Impermanence also softens our hearts toward failure and loss. Sometimes what we lose today becomes the lesson that helps us grow tomorrow. Sometimes someone's departure teaches us strength. Sometimes sorrow opens the path to awakening. If everything were unchanging, we would never grow. It is through impermanence that we learn to let go, to understand, to love. A verse from the sutras says, "This being that becomes, this not being that ceases. When this arises, that arises. When this ceases, that ceases." That is dependent origination, the truth of interconnection among all things. Nothing exists independently, and nothing stands still. Seeing this, we stop clinging to I and mine, realizing we are but part of a vast flow. Then the heart feels light. We no longer fear loss, knowing nothing truly disappears. It only changes form. Clouds turn into rain, rain becomes rivers, rivers return to the sea, and then become clouds again. Death is the same, not an ending, but a continuation in another form. Understanding this, we no longer drown in grief. We can cry when sad, but with tears of acceptance, not despair. We can smile at life, even as it changes, knowing change is life's very nature. The joyful person is not the one who avoids impermanence, but the one who walks with it. They do not grasp or cling, but walk gently amid birth and death, coming and going. Like a traveler who knows the sky may rain, yet still sings along the road, because peace is already in each step. And when they deeply understand impermanence, they no longer ask, "How can I be happy forever?" but softly whisper, "How can I be happy right now?" Impermanence takes nothing truly from us. It only removes what we never needed: illusions, attachments, stubbornness. What remains is pure gratitude, compassion, and awareness. When we can look at impermanence without fear, we have already walked halfway toward enlightenment, for in every change, we see life continuing, and in that life, the Dharma flows on, peaceful as a river returning to the sea. There are things in life we think have passed, yet still lie deep in the heart: a hurtful word, a betrayal, a broken love, an unfixable mistake. All like small stones we carry on our shoulders, heavier with each step. Many live in the present but are ruled by the past. Each time someone touches an old wound, it aches as if it happened yesterday. The Buddha taught, the past is gone, the future has not yet come, only the present moment is real. If we understand this, we will see that letting go of the past is the path back to peace. We cannot change what has happened, but we can change how we see it. What makes us suffer is not the memory itself, but how tightly we cling to it. When we recall the past with resentment, we revive the pain. But when we look back with understanding, the past becomes a teacher. Without what once hurt us, we would not be as wise as today. Every wound, when viewed through the light of insight, becomes a doorway to wisdom. Someone once said, "I cannot forgive myself for the mistake years ago." He lived in torment, not allowing himself to be happy. One day, the Zen master asked, "If you saw a child stumble, would you be angry at them?" He replied, "No, I would help them up." The master smiled. "Then why don't you help yourself up?" Those words brought him to tears. From then on, he began learning to look at himself with loving kindness. Letting go of the past is not forgetting, but stopping the blame. When we embrace our mistakes with understanding, they dissolve like morning dew under sunlight. Sometimes we cannot forgive others because a why still echoes in our hearts. But life does not always offer clear answers. Some things can only be understood by the silence of the heart. The one who hurt us may have been suffering. The one who betrayed us may have lacked wisdom. The one who left may have simply reached the end of our shared conditions. Seeing deeply like this, we realize no one is truly an enemy. They are companions for a stretch of the road, teaching us lessons in letting go, in love, and in understanding. The past is a good place to learn, but a poor place to live. If we stay there, there is no space left for the present. We cannot welcome a new dawn if we keep the door shut for fear of last night's darkness. Each morning is a chance to be reborn. A new life begins the moment we dare step out of old memories. When we stop asking, "Why did it happen?" and begin asking, "What did it teach me?" we step from darkness into light. Some say, "But the past is part of me. How can I let it go?" The Buddha taught that we need not discard it, only release it. To release means not letting it bind us. We may carry an old photograph, but not let it make us cry each time we look. The past is not lost. It softens when we understand enough. It no longer hurts us, but becomes part of the journey traveled, helping us cherish the present we have. Practicing release of the past can begin with the breath. Whenever old memories arise, breathe in and know the past is returning in my mind. Breathe out and whisper, "I smile at it." Do not push it away or hate it, just smile. When we do not resist, it will dissolve on its own, like a wave that rises and then breaks without our doing anything. Each mindful breath frees us from the invisible chains of time. Letting go of the past is also learning to live again in the present. The present is not perfect, but it is real. When eating, just eat. When walking, just walk. When talking, truly listen. When looking at a flower, do not let the mind dwell on what was lost. Simply see the flower blooming for this moment. If we truly live each moment fully, the past naturally fades, for it is no longer nourished by the energy of our mind. Many live as if re-watching an old film, replaying only the saddest scene. They do not realize the film is only memory, while the screen of the present is waiting for them to write the next part. Life does not ask us to erase memory, only not to let it decide who we are. We may have suffered, erred, fallen, but that does not define us today. Each morning we wake, we have the right to begin again, just as the sun still rises, even after a stormy night. Letting go of the past does not mean becoming cold or indifferent. On the contrary, it is a sign of deep compassion, compassion for ourselves. We have suffered enough. We need not suffer again by clutching what has passed. When we know how to love ourselves, we will not let old memories hurt us further. And when the heart is light, we can love others again with eyes no longer clouded by old wounds. One day, we will sit and smile at the old stories. No more tears, only gratitude. For we will understand that without those things, we would not know how strong, how gentle, and how loving we could be. The past, when released through understanding, becomes light guiding the present. So put down what has passed. Like letting a pebble fall into water, it will sink and the surface will become still. In that stillness, we will see reflected a new sky, peaceful, vast, and clear, like our own mind when it knows to let go at the right time. People often live with two fears, fear of what has passed and fear of what has not yet come. We fear the past will repeat and the future will fail our hopes. Thus we are stuck between two ends of time, leaving no space for the present. Some cannot sleep for thinking of tomorrow. Others cannot rest for not knowing how the future will unfold. But truly, the future has never existed. It is only a string of thoughts woven from our worries. The Buddha taught, "Do not chase the past, do not dream of the future, dwell peacefully in the present." For only the present is where life truly happens. We think worrying for the future is necessary. Rightly measured worry is wise preparation. But when worry becomes an obsession, it makes us slaves to what has not happened. Our minds run ahead, trying to predict, control, and prevent, while the present slips by, drop by drop. Some fear aging, illness, poverty, children going astray, society changing. But are these fears real or merely shadows of the mind cast on the wall of the future? The Buddha taught, "The future has not come. Do not let your mind be ruled by it." Once someone told a Zen master, "I am always uneasy, afraid I won't have enough tomorrow, afraid of losing my job, afraid loved ones will leave." The master smiled gently. "Are you certain tomorrow will come?" The person fell silent. The master continued, "If you are not certain, why waste today for the sake of what is uncertain?" The question is simple, yet profound. What we call tomorrow is only an illusion of the mind. Each tomorrow, when it arrives, becomes today. And if we know how to live fully today, every tomorrow will naturally be at peace. The future unnerves us not because it is terrible, but because we want to control it. We want guarantees that good will come and bad will be avoided. But life does not obey our orders. Dependent origination follows its own law. Where there is cause, there is effect. We cannot rush or force it. We can plant wholesome causes, but we cannot decide when the fruit will ripen. Accepting this, we feel light. We no longer fear, understanding that each moment we live is itself part of the future being formed. Letting go of the future does not mean living carelessly or neglectfully. Letting go means releasing the anxious mind, not abandoning wisdom. We still prepare, work, and nurture dreams, but we do not bind our hearts to the results. Like a rice farmer who cannot force the seed to sprout faster, but can tend the soil each day. When we live wholeheartedly today, the future is naturally nourished. If we only worry without action, then no matter how much we worry, the future will still flow away like water. Some spend a lifetime saving, hoarding, fearing for old age. Yet when old age arrives, they still fear illness, loneliness, death. In truth, fear does not lie in circumstances, but in an untrained mind. If the mind is not cultivated for peace, no future will ever feel enough. If the mind is steady, whatever tomorrow brings, we remain at ease. The Buddha taught, when the mind is at peace, even stones become flowers. So instead of worrying for tomorrow, plant flowers in the mind today. Letting go of the future is also releasing excessive expectations. We often promise ourselves, when I have enough money, I'll be happy. When work is stable, I'll rest. When the children succeed, I'll feel at peace. But life does not wait for us to arrange everything before it begins. Happiness is not at the destination. It lies along the path. When we keep postponing happiness to the future, we lose the chance to live fully in each present breath. Someone once said, "I worry so much that I no longer have time to live." That is the tragedy of many people today, living in the body of the present but trapped in the mind of tomorrow. They eat without knowing they are eating, speak without knowing they are speaking, walk without knowing they are walking. Their minds wander somewhere far away, a place they have never truly reached. Yet when one truly returns to the present, they see that nothing is missing. Everything they once sought in the future, peace, happiness, love, is already here waiting to be noticed. Letting go of the future is an art of living. When facing difficulties, we do our best, then release. When waiting, we breathe and smile. When feeling uneasy, we remind ourselves, I am here, I am still breathing. A single mindful breath can lead us out of anxiety and back into the present. For the present moment is the only place where fear cannot exist, because fear lives only in the past and the future. When we rest fully in this moment, fear dissolves like smoke in the wind. One day we will realize that no matter how much we worry, the future will still unfold in its own way, and most of what we fear never happens. Worry cannot stop tomorrow, it only steals today. The wise are not those who can predict the future, but those who live steadily amid the unknown. They do not ask, what will happen tomorrow? They simply smile. Whatever happens, I will be at peace. Letting go of the future is not irresponsibility. It is the deepest form of responsibility to the present. Because if we live fully today, then whatever tomorrow brings, we will already be ready. Like a sailor who cannot control the wind's direction, but can learn to steady the oar. When the mind stops running ahead, we can hear the birds, smell the grass, and see the sunlight. Simple things we used to overlook while gazing too far ahead. Remember, the future does not need us to worry. It only needs us to live truly. The future is born from the present. If the present is filled with understanding, the future will shine with light. If the present is filled with love, the future will bloom with flowers. Every breath, every kind act, every smile today is a seed for a peaceful tomorrow. So stop fearing tomorrow, walk slowly, breathe evenly, and smile at this moment. For in this very moment, if you are truly present, the future is already healed. When people hear meditation or mindfulness, many think it is something distant, meant only for those who leave the world behind, hiding away in the mountains. But the Buddha never taught meditation as an escape from life. He taught it as a way to live life truthfully. Mindfulness does not require us to abandon work, family, or responsibility. It only asks that we return fully to whatever we are doing, without being carried away by worry or memory. In the Satipatthana Sutta, the Buddha taught, when walking, know you are walking. When standing, know you are standing. When sitting, know you are sitting. When lying down, know you are lying down. Such simple words contain the entire path of liberation. For when we know what we are doing, the mind stops. It no longer rushes to the past or leaps toward the future. That presence itself is the source of peace. A person cooking in mindfulness is not merely preparing food, they are practicing awareness. They wash vegetables in gratitude for the meal, listen to the sound of water like a gentle song, and smell the rice cooking as a quiet happiness filling the home. A person walking in mindfulness is not merely moving, they are walking with the earth. Each step greets Mother Earth. Each breath is a gift of life. Mindfulness does not ask us to add anything new, only to remove haste. When we are truly present, even drinking a cup of tea brings peace. A Zen master once said, "When washing the dishes, just wash the dishes," meaning whatever you do it with your whole being. Do not wash dishes while thinking of work. Do not eat while thinking of your phone. Do not speak while thinking of how to reply. When the mind is elsewhere, the body becomes an empty shell. But when body and mind unite, we are truly alive. Many say, "I'm too busy to meditate." But meditation is not about sitting still for hours. Meditation is knowing what you are doing and doing it calmly. When driving, don't let your mind drift into the news. Just feel the steering wheel, the steady breath, the road unfolding ahead. When working, give your full heart to your work. When resting, truly rest. No scrolling, no overthinking. That is meditation in daily life. Meditation not apart from living, but as the art of living awake amid the world. In a Dharma talk, Thich Nhat Hanh once shared, "When I walk, I do not go anywhere. I just walk to walk." At first it sounds paradoxical, but it is the essence of mindfulness. When we stop chasing goals and outcomes, we finally see each step. And in those steps, peace arises. Mindfulness does not help us escape life. It helps us see life more clearly, more deeply, more tenderly. Those who live mindfully worry less because they know each moment is complete. When eating, they do not think of the next meal. When listening, they truly listen. When seeing, they truly see. Mindfulness does not change the outer world, but it transforms how we perceive it. A flower is still a flower, but with an awakened mind, we see it blooming with the whole sky. A bird's song is still a sound, but with a calm mind, we hear the breath of life within it. Some say, "I want peace," but life is not peaceful. In truth, peace is not outside. The world may be noisy, but the mind can be still. Amid the marketplace, the mindful person still feels their breath. Among traffic, they can still smile. They do not seek peace by running away, but by pausing right in the wind. To pause does not mean to stop moving, but to stop being swept away. There are hundreds of moments each day to return to mindfulness. When opening your eyes in the morning, you can smile and whisper, "Thank you for another day of life." When washing your face, feel the cool water on your skin. When stepping outside, feel the sun on your shoulders. When meeting someone, truly look into their eyes. Each small act is a living meditation, and when you live through such moments, you will see that happiness has never been far. It has always been here in every breath. Mindfulness is also a companion in suffering. When we hurt, if we avoid it, the pain chases us. But if we breathe, look directly, and name it, it softens. "Hello, sadness, I see you." When we recognize it, we no longer become it. Sadness is just a cloud. We are the sky. When the cloud drifts away, the sky remains clear. Through mindfulness, we learn not to fear our emotions anymore. A monk once said, "Mindfulness is the lamp in the dark night. It does not banish the darkness all at once, but it lights the way. With that light, we do not stumble or lose our path. And every day, as we keep that lamp burning with the breath of awareness, the darkness of worry and fear fades away." Meditation is not to make life different, but to see it clearly as it is. You do not need to wait until retirement to meditate, nor leave home to find stillness. Stillness is always here. In every moment you pause to truly live. Try it once. In the morning, don't reach for your phone. Just sit quietly for 5 minutes and breathe. You'll see the whole day change. Everything outside remains the same, but your mind has shifted. And when the mind changes, the whole world changes with it. When we practice mindfulness in everyday life, every moment becomes meditation. No need for high mountains or deep temples. Just be fully present in whatever you do, and you are already meditating amid life. That is the most peaceful path the Buddha showed us, the path of returning to the breath, returning to ourselves. There is an old Buddhist saying often cited by practitioners, "When the mind is pure, the surroundings are pure." Just 5 simple words, yet the essence of a lifetime of practice. For the root of all suffering truly does not lie in external circumstances, but in the way we see and respond to them. When the mind is still agitated, even in a quiet place, the heart remains uneasy. But when the mind is at peace, we can smile even in the bustle of the marketplace. People often think that if they change their surroundings, their hearts will be at ease. We want to leave the city for the countryside, leave one person for another, switch from this job to that job. But wherever we go, we carry ourselves along, carrying the delusions, cravings, and fears not yet transformed. So no matter how much we change the scene, if the mind has not changed, the scene remains the same. And when the mind is peaceful, even amid a turbulent life, we still feel calm. A Zen master once asked a student, "Do you see the wind making the flag flutter, or your mind fluttering?" The student fell silent, then understood. It is not the wind, not the flag, but the mind that is trembling. The scene is only a mirror reflecting the inner mind. When the heart is still, the wind feels gentle, people feel kind, and life seems more lovable. But when the heart is chaotic, everything becomes cramped and irritating. We no longer see others, only the reflection of our own inner turmoil. The Buddha taught, "No one can make us suffer except our own mind." Hearing this, many find it hard to believe, but looking deeply, we see it is true. When someone insults us, do we suffer because of their words, or because we cling to those words? When things don't go as we wish, do we suffer because of the event, or because we want it to be different? In fact, what makes us suffer is not the event itself, but how we face it. When we try to change what cannot be changed, we create suffering. But when we accept, the mind opens and suffering dissolves. A woman shared that for 10 years she lived in distress because of an indifferent husband. She always blamed him, believing he made her suffer. One day she heard a monk say, "If you don't make yourself suffer, no one can make you suffer." That sentence stunned her. She began to look at her husband with new eyes, not to judge, but to understand. She saw that he too was tired, also suffering. She stopped demanding he change and turned to caring for her own mind. From then on, whether he changed or not, she still felt peaceful because she realized, peace is my work, not someone else's. When the mind is at peace, the world is at peace, is also a lesson in taking responsibility for our own happiness. When we blame the world, we hand over the reins of our emotions to the outside. When we acknowledge that the root of suffering lies in the mind, we begin to have the power to transform it. A practitioner is not one who avoids suffering, but one who uses suffering to grow. Like a gardener using compost to make flowers bloom, a practitioner uses adversity to understand themselves more deeply. With understanding, we no longer resent, we simply smile. In modern life, our minds are easily pulled in all directions. Noise, news, work, relationships, all compete for our attention. But the more we turn outward, the farther we are from ourselves. Only when we return to the breath can we hear the voice of the heart. Right now, just pause a little, breathe in deeply, and breathe out slowly. When the breath slows, the mind slows. When the mind slows, the scene becomes still. Peace is not far away. It is right within a conscious breath. Someone asked, "How can the mind be peaceful in such a turbulent world?" The Zen master replied, "Let the mind be like a lake. When the wind blows, the water ripples. But if you do not add more waves, the lake will settle on its own." Meaning we do not need to force peace. Just don't create extra waves. The waves here are reactions: anger, fear, resentment. When someone speaks harshly, don't rush to reply. When something displeases you, don't rush to judge. Just breathe and observe. When we do not react, the waves dissolve and the lake grows calm. When the mind is at peace, the world is at peace, is also a lesson in a new way of seeing. A person with a tranquil mind can see beauty in what is simple. They see a flower bloom and feel joy, see the rain fall and feel stillness, witness another's anger without their heart being shaken. But one with an agitated mind will find something to complain about even before a lovely scene. The world has not changed, only the mind has, and so the scene changes. When the heart is bright, everything around us brightens. When the heart is narrow, the world shrinks with it. Try looking back at yourself. Have you ever found others irritating simply because your own heart was troubled? Have you ever felt the world gloomy simply because your mind was tired? In truth, the scene is only a mirror. If the reflection is grimy, don't wipe the mirror, clean the mind. When the mind is clear, the mirror is clear. Understanding this, we no longer demand that life be different. We learn to live differently within the same life. The ancients said, "When the mind is pure, the Buddha land is pure." This means that when our mind is clear, the world around us becomes a Buddha realm. Peace is not something to search for, but something recognized when we stop. When we sit quietly, with no thinking, no worrying, just breathing and smiling, we will feel the wondrous life unfolding in each heartbeat, each breeze. And when we truly touch that life, all afflictions naturally recede. Therefore, don't run off seeking a peaceful place, and don't expect others to bring you peace. Look deeply within. When we are peaceful, those beside us will be peaceful. When we are still, that energy spreads like a gentle fragrance. If each person keeps a lamp lit in their heart, the world will no longer be dark. Peace is not far away. It is right within our tranquil mind. From birth, we are taught to move forward, to strive, to reach, to advance. Society honors those who never stop pushing, never accept pausing, but few teach the art of stopping. Stopping is not losing, not weakness. It is knowing where we are going and whether we are going the right way. Many walk their whole lives without knowing why. Only when we stop do we truly see the path. In the modern world, we are swept into a pace so fast we have not yet lived. We open our eyes already thinking of work. We race all day against time, then drown at night in phones, news, unfinished plans. We say we are busy living, but in truth, we are busy forgetting to live. Stopping is a chance to look deeply, to see clearly that we are tired, off course, and have forgotten something. And once we realize that, we can live again, awake, unhurried, and meaningful. The Buddha taught, when the mind runs, stop and breathe. The breath is the anchor that brings us back to reality. When we breathe in and know we are breathing in, we have already stopped halfway. When we breathe out and know we are breathing out, we have truly returned. Just a few breaths can pull us out of the vortex of anxiety. Stopping does not mean quitting our tasks, but stopping right within them, stopping so the mind is not swept away. Once a young person asked a Zen master, "I have too much to do, how can I stop?" The master simply poured tea, filling the cup until it overflowed. The youth cried out, "Master, it's overflowing." The master smiled, "Yes, you are living like this cup, too full to receive anything more." Only when we know to stop do we make room for peace to enter. Otherwise, no matter how many successes we add, our hearts will remain flooded with tension. Stopping is an act of wisdom and courage. Only when we stop do we dare face ourselves. While we keep running, we feel unafraid because busyness muffles the inner call. But when we stop, we face emptiness, loneliness, the questions, who am I? What am I living for? Many fear stopping because they fear those questions. Yet if we never stop, we remain lost. When we stop long enough, we find in that silence our mind settling like water after the wind. Some pauses are not retreats, but beginnings in the right direction, like a rower in mid-river. Without pausing to read the current, they may be going upstream without knowing it. Likewise, we can chase work, money, and fame until we lose our health, family, and even ourselves. Stopping does not set us back. It helps us see what truly matters. A quiet meal with loved ones may bring more happiness than 1,000 praises out there. When we stop, we begin to hear the voice of life itself, the sound of wind through the leaves, the echo of our footsteps on the ground, the rhythm of our heartbeat, those subtle melodies we could never hear while rushing. Each breath, each sensation becomes vivid. Stopping allows us to see deeply, to recognize the impermanence of all things, and in that seeing, attachment fades. When the mind knows how to pause, restlessness subsides and life becomes as light as a cloud. Within stillness lies awareness, and within awareness wisdom is born. When we pause long enough, we realize that most problems do not come from the outside, but from a mind that has not yet settled. When we are anxious, everything seems tangled. When we are calm, everything finds its way. Thus, the first step to resolving suffering is not to do something, but to stop and see clearly. Just as water can only reflect when it is still, our mind can only see truth when it is quiet. Practice stopping each day, even for a few minutes. Stop when you are about to speak in haste, to listen. Stop when you are angry, to breathe. Stop when you are tired, to rest. Stop when you are sad, to recognize that sadness too needs gentle holding. Every pause is a return to yourself. Life continues, but you are no longer swept away by it. Amid the rush of crowds, you can walk calmly because you know where you are going. One who learns to stop begins to master life. They are no longer ruled by reactions. They speak when it is time to speak, remain silent when silence is right. They act when it is time to act, rest when it is time to rest. They no longer let the outer world spin them like a top. When the mind knows how to pause, one can live fully in each moment, even while washing dishes, sweeping the floor, or drinking water. In these simple acts, the Dharma begins to reveal itself. Stopping is also the art of love. When we know how to stop, we finally have time to truly see our loved ones, to listen deeply, to feel their presence closely. Many realize this only when it is too late, when parents are old, when children are grown, when hearts have drifted apart. But it is never too late to stop. Just today, pause for a moment, pause judgment, pause arguing, pause distraction, and happiness is already near. Learning to stop is learning to see clearly and love deeply. When the mind is quiet, wisdom blossoms and compassion arises. We stop hurting ourselves and others. We stop chasing illusions and begin to rediscover the true value of life. Stopping does not waste time. It brings us back to real time. Every breath, every step, every smile reclaimed is a precious gift life offers to those who know how to stop. Remember, there is nowhere to rush to, nothing that cannot wait. Each moment of true presence is the destination of our journey. When we stop, life does not disappear. It begins to unfold. And when the mind knows how to stop, we realize that peace has never left. It was only waiting for us to be still enough to see it. The world today moves endlessly. People seem to live in a constant state of must go faster, work faster, eat faster, talk faster, even suffer faster. We fear being left behind, fear not keeping up with the speed of the age. But the faster we run, the further we drift from ourselves. We live without truly living, breathe without knowing we breathe, hear without truly listening. The Buddha taught, the one who can stop in the midst of life's flow is the one walking the right path. For only in mindful slowness can we truly see the road we are on. Living slowly is not laziness or withdrawal. It is living deeply. To slow down is to see, to feel, to understand. In a world of haste, slowness is an act of wisdom. Among those racing to compete and compare, the one who stops to breathe, to observe, to smile, is the freest of all. They are not carried by the crowd, not bound by the noise of ambition. They know each moment is unique, unrepeatable, and so they choose to live it fully. One day, when we walk slowly, we will see many things we have never seen before. Sunlight filtering through leaves, the morning call of birds, the touch of the breeze on our skin. These have always been there, but we move too fast to notice. Likewise, in life, we often overlook the small, tender things, the smile of a child, the hand of a parent, the gaze of a loved one. When we slow down, we begin to truly live, not merely exist. A Zen master once said, "When you drink tea, just drink tea." That is the spirit of living slowly, to take a sip and feel the warmth through your hands, the fragrance filling your mouth, the rustle of leaves outside. That is meditation in each second. When the mind is fully present, peace is found even in the simplest act. But when the mind rushes, even in the most beautiful place, we still feel lacking and restless because we are not truly there. Those who live slowly tend to feel more gratitude. They do not take things for granted. They give thanks for a simple meal, a morning greeting, or just the chance to breathe. They know impermanence is present in every moment. Loved ones are here today, but may not be tomorrow. Knowing this, they do not rush, do not anger, do not regret. They simply wish to love more, speak more gently, and live more fully in each remaining day. In the rhythm of modern life, living slowly is a gentle act of resistance against the world's relentless spin. While others rush in panic, the one who dares to slow down is truly awake. They have nothing to prove, for they understand that life's true worth is not in speed, but in depth. A single mindful step is worth more than 1,000 hurried ones taken without knowing where they lead. Many say they have no time to live slowly, but the truth is, when we slow down, time actually expands. A meal eaten in mindfulness can warm the heart all day. A quiet evening walk can nourish peace for the entire week. When the mind pauses, time pauses. And when time pauses, happiness appears. Being mindful amid the world's flow also means seeing life with new eyes. When the mind is calm, we no longer see life as a burden, but as a miracle unfolding. Work ceases to be pressure, it becomes service. Family is no longer duty, it becomes love. Even hardship becomes a lesson for growth. Mindfulness does not change circumstances, but it changes how we walk through them. Slowing down helps us hear the true voice within. When we rush, the noise outside drowns it out. Others tell us what to do, society tells us how to live, and we obey, forgetting to ask, "What do I truly want?" Only when we stop can we listen to ourselves. And once we hear clearly, we are no longer swept up in the race of others. We can choose our own path, gentle, simple, yet true. The Buddha taught, "Those who live slowly are those who see each breath clearly." For breath is the rhythm of life. When we breathe fast, we chase life. When we breathe slowly, we return home to ourselves. Each mindful breath is a step of meditation, a moment of awakening. Amid the haste of the world, the one who pauses to breathe will go the farthest, for they walk with steadiness, not with speed. Try a day without rushing. Do not turn on your phone right after waking. Do not eat while scrolling through news. Do not push. Do not argue. Do one thing at a time, with full presence. You will find the world seems to slow down, sounds soften, and the heart widens. When we slow down, everything around us becomes brighter, truer, and closer. Living slowly is not going against the times, but moving in rhythm with the soul. For the heart does not know the clock, it knows only the rhythm of love, understanding, and peace. And when we live slowly enough to hear that rhythm, we truly touch life, not with eyes or ears, but with a heart opening wide. In a hurried world, those who know how to live slowly are not isolated, they shine. They are like a small candle in the night, illuminating gently yet enduringly. They need not speak much or do much. Their very presence is enough to bring peace to those around them, for mindfulness is an energy that can spread. When one person is at ease, the whole space around them is at ease. Practice living slowly. Do not let life slip by in haste. Each day, choose at least one moment to pause to breathe, to smile, to give thanks for being alive. When we know how to live slowly in the stream of life, we do not fear being left behind, for we are already in the only place we need to be, this present moment, where peace always awaits our return. In life, people often tirelessly seek happiness without realizing it has never gone anywhere. It is always right here, waiting for us to open the door of gratitude. Gratitude is like a lamp that lights the soul. When that light is kindled, the shadows of blame, complaint, and dissatisfaction gradually dissolve. The Buddha taught, "One who is grateful is one close to the noble ones." For when we are grateful, we no longer feel lacking. We feel we are living in wondrous abundance. Gratitude is recognizing that every breath, every step, every day we awaken is a gift. Many often forget to thank the small things, assuming they are obvious. But nothing in this world is obvious. A hot meal is the labor of many hands. The water we drink is the result of nature and people combined. Sunlight, wind, laughter, all are graces we are receiving, though no one is obliged to give them. When we see this, we naturally feel happiness surrounding us. Someone asks, "Why do I have more than others yet still suffer?" Because they may have enough materially, but lack gratitude. One who is grateful, even with only a bowl of rice, still feels full. One who is ungrateful, though seated at a full table, feels empty. Gratitude does not increase our possessions, but it makes our heart richer, and that wealth cannot be taken away. A person who has endured many losses shared that it was in suffering that she learned true gratitude. When ill, she was grateful her body still breathed. When lonely, she was grateful for the chance to understand herself. When betrayed, she was grateful to learn how to let go. Thus, suffering ceased to be a burden and became a gentle teacher. With gratitude, even adversity has meaning. Gratitude is not only outward but inward. We need to be grateful to ourselves, to the feet that have carried us so far, the hands that have worked, the eyes that have seen, the heart that keeps beating. Often we treat others with love yet forget to love ourselves. When we are grateful to ourselves, we stop comparing and criticizing and begin caring for our soul with tenderness. The Buddha taught, "When the heart is grateful, all resentment dissolves." For gratitude is healing energy. When we are grateful to our parents, even if they once caused us pain, our heart is light because we understand they are human and have suffered too. When we are grateful to those who hurt us, we free ourselves from the chains of hatred. When we are grateful for adversity, we do not fear it, seeing it as simply part of our journey of growth. The grateful see the world with gentle eyes. They do not ask, "Why did this happen to me?" but say, "Thank you, this helped me understand life more." They do not complain, "Why does it rain?" but smile, "Thank you, because rain cools the earth." Gratitude helps them see everything in a positive light. In that light, suffering becomes flowers. Practicing gratitude needs no elaborate ritual. Each morning, simply smile and whisper, "Thank you for one more day to live." When eating, thank the one who grew the rice, the one who cooked the meal, and the earth and sky that offered it. When meeting someone, even a passerby, smile and be grateful they walked with you for a while. Done with mindfulness, these small acts turn every day into a day worth living. A Zen master said, "Those who are grateful always live in heaven, wherever they are." Indeed, heaven is not above, but within a heart that knows sufficiency, love, and gratitude. A person may live in a small house and eat a simple meal, yet if their heart overflows with gratitude, they are the happiest person in the world. Gratitude is also the root of compassion. When we see how much we have received, we want to give. When we feel loved, we wish to love in return. When we are forgiven, we wish to forgive. Gratitude softens the heart, deepens its love, and widens its generosity. The grateful do not live to demand, they live to offer, and in giving, they receive peace 100-fold. When gratitude becomes our breath, life is no longer a burden but a precious gift. Each day we live, whether smooth or rough, is an opportunity to practice love, understanding, and letting go. Happiness is not in how much we have, but in whether we are grateful for what we have. Therefore, let gratitude be your companion. Each morning, open your heart to thank life. Each night, close your eyes in appreciation for a day well lived. When we are grateful, there is no need to seek happiness, for gratitude itself is happiness. Among all emotions, anger is the quickest to flare and the fastest to consume us. Others may hurt us, but it is our own anger that destroys most deeply. It burns our peace, clouds our wisdom, and severs the threads of love we have patiently woven. The Buddha taught, "Anger is a fire that burns down the forest of merit." Therefore, learning to release anger is learning to safeguard our happiness. Anger does not arise out of nowhere. It is born of hurt, misunderstanding, or unmet expectations. When someone speaks against our wishes, when events defy our hopes, we react with irritation. Anger is like a cloud covering the sun. It darkens the mind so we can no longer see clearly. In anger, we may say what should not be said, do what should not be done, and when the anger passes, we regret it. Yet words once loosed are arrows that cannot be recalled. Someone asked a Zen master, "How can I not be angry?" The master replied, "Do not try not to be angry. Learn to recognize anger." When we are angry and know we are angry, it already begins to weaken. Like a flame-denied wind, it loses the power to blaze. If we let anger lead us, we hand over the key to our peace. Thus, the first step to releasing anger is not suppression, but to look directly and call it by its true name with understanding. When angry, try breathing in deeply and breathing out slowly. Do not speak, do not act, just breathe. Mindful breathing is the shortest path back to ourselves. Each breath soothes the mind. When the breath is steady, the mind settles. When the mind settles, we can look at the other with different eyes, the eyes of understanding and love. For beneath every anger lies a wound. Harsh words may come because the speaker is suffering. When we see that suffering, anger dissolves and compassion arises. There is a story of a woman who, whenever she grew angry at her husband, would quietly walk to the garden and water the plants until she calmed down before speaking again. She said, "I don't want to bring the fire in my heart back into the house, because it will burn everything I love." That is how anger can be transformed through understanding. Anger is not evil if we can use it as a mirror to see ourselves more clearly. In moments of anger, we have the chance to observe what we are clinging to, what we are expecting, and how our ego is leading us. The Buddha taught, "When you are angry, remember that you are about to speak words you will later regret." Just one moment of losing control can wound those we love and shatter what is most precious. Therefore, practice in daily life is not about seeking a quiet place to avoid anger, but about keeping the mind calm even while anger arises. Like a sailor in rough waves who does not stop the wind but keeps the oar steady. Letting go of anger does not mean forgetting everything. nor does it mean weakness. It means seeing the true nature of anger and not letting it rule us. When we forgive, it is not because the other person deserves it, but because we want to free ourselves from suffering. Anger is like drinking poison and hoping the other person will die, yet it is we who suffer most. Forgiveness is not agreeing with what was wrong, but setting down the burden in our heart. When the heart is light, everything becomes clear. Some say, but they were clearly wrong. Why should I let go? The Buddha taught that right and wrong are relative. The other may have done wrong to us, but perhaps they were acting out of fear or pain we do not yet understand. When we stubbornly cling to our own rightness, we lose compassion. But when we open our heart and look deeply, we see that everyone suffers in their own way. Once we understand, anger fades and compassion arises. For understanding is the root of love, and anger is the fruit of ignorance. Think back to the last time you were angry. How long did it last? An hour, a day, or years? And in the end, what did you gain but exhaustion? The more we hold on to anger, the more energy we lose, and the further we drift from peace. Letting go of anger is not a gift to others, but a blessing to ourselves. When the heart releases, love finds room to return. Some practice letting go by writing down their feelings instead of speaking them. They write to see themselves clearly, then tear the paper, and with that, the anger dissolves. Others meditate, recite the Buddha's name, or simply walk slowly, following the breath. Each person has their own way, but the key is to recognize that anger is not who we are. We are the one who observes it. Once we see that clearly, anger loses its power. A person without anger is not emotionless. They simply understand the nature of emotion. They know that all feelings arise and fade like waves, appearing then disappearing. If we neither resist nor cling, they vanish like morning mist. Anger is the same. When we stop feeding it with thought and speech, it settles. And in that stillness, peace returns. Letting go of anger is the path from suffering to serenity. When resentment fades, life softens naturally. The one who hurt us may remain the same, but we see them with new eyes, the eyes of someone who has understood, who has completed the lesson. Then the mind becomes bright like a mirror, clear as water, untouched by anger, filled only with compassion. Fear is one of the deepest roots of suffering. All of us have known fear, fear of losing those we love, fear of rejection, failure, loneliness, illness, or death. Fear has no form, yet it shapes every action, thought, and even our sleep. The Buddha said, "No chain binds humans more tightly than fear." Thus, learning to release fear is learning to live in true freedom. Fear arises when we do not understand the nature of life. When we believe things must stay stable, that we can control everything, fear begins. When we identify with our body, possessions, or status, we fear their loss. Yet life is impermanent, the body a temporary gathering of elements. Everything comes and goes like clouds. The more we try to control, the more afraid we become. But when we understand dependent origination, that what comes arises from causes and what goes leaves because causes end, we see there is nothing truly lost, only the chance to live fully. Someone once told a Zen master, "I am afraid of death, master. How can I stop fearing it?" The master replied, "Are you afraid of night turning into day?" The person answered, "No, because that is natural." The master smiled. "Death is just as natural. This body is like a candle. When the wax is gone, the flame goes out, but the light it gave continues on. When we see that death is not an end but a transformation of life, fear dissolves like smoke in the wind. Only by deeply understanding impermanence can we live calmly with change. Fear also comes from ignorance, not seeing clearly the nature of the mind. When the mind is restless, small matters grow large. A minor illness becomes a crisis. A careless word steals our sleep. But when the mind is still, we see that everything is only a passing appearance. Like a clear pond reveals the bottom, a calm mind reveals truth, but a muddy mind reflects only distortion. The way to overcome fear is not to seek safety, but to illuminate the mind with wisdom. The Buddha taught, where mindfulness abides, fear cannot dwell. In mindfulness, we live in the present, the only place without fear. All fear belongs to the future, fear of what may come, fear of what has not yet appeared. But the future is an illusion. It does not yet exist. When we return to the breath, we return to now, and in now we are safe. Breathing in, we know we are breathing in. Breathing out, we know we are alive. In that moment, fear disappears. A mother once feared endlessly for her child, afraid of falls, sickness, failure. But out of fear, she confined her child, and both suffered. When she realized that fear protects no one, that it only imprisons love, she learned to trust causes and conditions, to trust her child's own virtue. Gradually, fear faded, and in that release, her child grew stronger and her heart lighter, because love without fear of loss is the only true love. Fear also reveals a lack of faith, not blind faith, but faith in the law of cause and effect. Trust that good seeds yield good fruit, and that even amid storms, a subtle order sustains all things. With that trust, we stop trembling before uncertainty. We know that whatever comes, we have the strength to face it. Whatever goes, we have the wisdom to let it go. The faithful do not live in fear. They live in the peace of understanding. Someone asked, "How can I stop fearing the future?" The simple answer, live fully in the present. When we worry about tomorrow, we abandon life today. Tomorrow is not shaped by worry, but by mindful action now. If we live kindly, speak truthfully, and act wholesomely, the future cannot go wrong. Instead of fearing, we simply live rightly. That is the most practical way to turn fear into strength. A monk once taught, "Look at fear as you would at a crying child." That means do not reject it, do not hate it, just hold it gently with the breath. When we breathe slowly and whisper, "Hello, fear, I see you," fear begins to soften. For once acknowledged, it loses its grip. We cannot defeat fear by fighting it, but only through understanding and compassion for ourselves. Remember, deep within, fear is only a small part of the mind. Our mind is vast like the sky, and fear is but a passing cloud. Do not mistake yourself for the cloud. Return to being the sky. Clouds may hide the sun, but never forever. When we see this clearly, we can smile amid the storm, knowing the storm too belongs to the boundless blue. Letting go of fear does not mean we stop feeling. It means we stop being ruled by it. We still feel, but we do not let fear steer us. We remain cautious, but not panicked. We love, but without clinging. When we live this way, the heart expands, the steps steady. We no longer fear loss, for we know that nothing is ever truly lost. Everything is simply changing form, changing conditions. One day, when we truly release our fears, we will find life becoming wonderfully gentle. The trees remain green, the sky still vast, and our hearts, after so many storms, become clear and tender again, like morning dew upon the leaves. No more worry, no more fear, only a deep trust in causes and conditions. In the Dharma and in the very path of awakening, we are walking. Deep within, many people carry a quiet sense of inadequacy. They always feel not enough, not skilled enough, not beautiful enough, not worthy of love, not successful enough. They look at others and think, if only I were like them. Yet the more we compare, the further we drift from ourselves, because inferiority is the denial of our own inherent value. The Buddha taught, all beings have Buddha nature. This means that within us, even amid suffering or weakness, lies the seed of wisdom and enlightenment. We just have not yet recognized it. Inferiority is not innate. It is formed from words, gazes, and experiences of the past. Perhaps someone once told us we weren't good enough. Perhaps we failed, were compared, or were hurt. Then we believed those voices and gradually forgot our own light. We let others define our worth instead of realizing it from within. Yet the light inside us has never gone out. It is only hidden behind the clouds of doubt. The Buddha once taught, the foolish despise themselves. The wise know how to love themselves. To love oneself is to accept oneself. When we understand that we are part of life, just like everyone else, with light and shadow, right and wrong, strength and weakness, we become gentler with ourselves. Inferiority dissolves only when comparison ends. Comparison opens the door to suffering. Looking up breeds inferiority. Looking down breeds arrogance. Both are faces of the ego that has not yet understood itself. The one who truly understands the way does not need to be better than others, only better than who they were yesterday. A young person once said, I am not special at all. The Zen master asked, have you ever smiled at anyone? Yes, the student replied. Then you are special, said the master, because you can warm another's heart. In this world, our worth is not measured by degrees, status, or possessions. It lies in our heart. A sincere hug, a kind question, a meal cooked with love, these simple acts carry immense energy. Those who love and live truthfully are already shining, even without recognition. Letting go of inferiority does not mean arrogance. It means seeing ourselves truthfully. We are not perfect, but we are not useless either. We are human. Learning, stumbling, rising, erring, understanding. When we accept ourselves as we are, the heart becomes light. We no longer need to please others or wear masks to be loved. True love comes only when we dare to be ourselves. Some spend their whole lives chasing approval. They work tirelessly to be praised, shop to be noticed, decorate to be seen. Yet the more praise they receive, the more afraid they become of losing it. The more attention they get, the emptier they feel, because they do not truly believe in themselves. Only when we can say within, I am enough, I have nothing to prove, do we begin to live freely. Freedom from the gaze of others is the deepest peace. The Buddha taught, be your own island. That means do not wait for others to bring you validation or worth. When we rely on inner wisdom, nothing external can shake us. Those who trust themselves deeply are neither proud nor arrogant. They are humble and kind. They know they need not surpass anyone because everyone is part of the same whole, like drops of water in the ocean. Each drop is clear, each reflects the sun if only it pauses to see. When we release inferiority, we begin to see our own beauty clearly. True beauty does not lie in appearance or achievement, but in sincerity of heart, in gentleness when listening, in patience when no longer judging. Every person is born with a unique purpose. Some shine through knowledge, some through compassion, some through the goodness of their hands. No one is lesser, only different in the way they shine. Understanding this, we stop comparing, stop belittling ourselves, and learn to honor even the smallest role we play. An old Zen master often told his students, do not try to be the sun, be a lamp. The sun shines by day, but a small lamp brightens the night. Everyone has their own moment to shine. We may not be radiant, yet we can quietly bring warmth to someone. When we understand this, inferiority turns into humility and confidence. When we no longer need to be someone, we finally become ourselves, light, natural, and peaceful. Letting go of inferiority is also learning to see others with compassion. When we no longer see ourselves as less, we no longer see anyone as greater. When we realize that both we and others are learning, erring, and growing, our hearts soften. Then we love not only ourselves, but also others more deeply. For everyone is trying to overcome their own sense of inadequacy, even if unspoken. One day, when we sit quietly, not trying to do anything, not trying to become anyone, just breathing and smiling, we will see something simple. We have always been enough. No need to adorn, no need for recognition. The sky does not need to prove it is high. Flowers do not need to prove they are beautiful. And we do not need to prove we are worthy. Just by being sincere, kind, and loving, we are walking the Buddha's path, the path of one who is confident in stillness and free in simplicity. Among the deepest causes of suffering, there is something seemingly small yet powerful enough to affect almost every relationship: expectation. We expect from parents, children, friends, lovers, colleagues. We want them to understand, love, and behave as we wish. When they cannot, we feel sad, angry, disappointed. We think they have changed, become cold or uncaring, but in truth, it is unfulfilled expectation, not the person, that causes our pain. The Buddha taught, all suffering arises from attachment. Here, attachment means clinging to desires. We love, yet unknowingly turn love into bondage. We say, I love you, but inside we mean, you must make me happy, care for me, respond as I wish. When love carries conditions, it is no longer love, but exchange. And when the other cannot fulfill those conditions, we feel hurt. Yet with understanding, we see, love is not wanting someone to make us happy, but growing together in freedom. A wife once shared, my husband rarely talks, seldom shows care. I feel so sad. The Zen master asked, how do you wish he would show his care? She said, I want him to speak sweetly, ask how I feel like others do. The master smiled. He may love you in his own way, by working hard, by quietly providing. If you look only through your expectations, you will miss the love already present. Her heart fell silent. From then on, she saw that when expectation softens, love expands. Expectation blinds us to the present. We no longer see who the other truly is, only the image we want them to be. We do not love them, we love the version we imagine. Thus, when they differ from that image, we suffer. But no one is born to match another's ideal. Everyone has light and shadow, strength and weakness. Understanding this, we stop demanding and begin accepting. In acceptance, love grows real. Letting go of expectation is not indifference. Letting go means allowing others to be themselves. When we love someone, we give them space to breathe, to live true to their nature. A person can stay with us long only when they are free to be themselves, not the image we wish them to be. Love cannot live in the cage of expectation. It only blooms when nourished by understanding and trust. The Buddha taught, understanding is the foundation of love. Without understanding, love easily turns into control. We love our children, yet force them to follow the career we want. We love our parents, yet wish them to live the way we think is right. We love our friends, yet expect them to always agree with us. Every time love lacks understanding, we unintentionally suffocate the one we love. But when we understand, we see that everyone has their own path, karma, and choices. Then we no longer wish to possess, but only to accompany. Letting go of expectations is also learning to return to ourselves. Often we want others to make us happy, while we have never learned how to find peace within. We wait for others to bring us joy, while joy already exists in our hearts. When we know how to care for ourselves, how to love ourselves, we no longer need anyone else to do it for us. And it is precisely when we no longer need that love becomes pure, no longer demanding, only sharing. Someone asked, but if we have no expectations, won't love become indifferent? Not at all. When we let go of demands, love does not disappear. It becomes deeper and more genuine. Because when we no longer wait for someone to make us happy, we can be happy simply because they are living true to themselves. When we no longer need anyone to change, we can love them in their differences. That is unconditional love, a kind of love only those who understand the Dharma can truly feel. Expectations also make us suffer from the past and the future. We want others to stay the same as they were at first, so we suffer when they change. We want their love to remain forever, so we fear when they drift away. But life is impermanent, and so are people. When conditions remain, we walk together. When they end, we wish each other peace. No resentment, no blame, only gratitude for having met. Letting go of expectations is freeing others and freeing ourselves. One who learns this art will feel light as a cloud. They still love, still connect, but are not bound. They still care, but do not impose. They no longer need others to make them happy because they have found joy in their own tranquility. Then every relationship becomes warm without being binding, close without being suffocating. Letting go of expectation is a form of compassionate wisdom. When we let go, we no longer see others as tools for our happiness, but as companions on the path of awakening. And when love is nurtured by freedom, it is no longer fragile, but enduring like light, quietly shining without needing to be returned. One day, when we no longer demand anyone to make us happy, we will see that everyone is equally deserving of compassion, for all are learning how to love and to be loved. Then our hearts will soften, our love will widen, and peace will naturally bloom with each breath. For only when there is no expectation do we truly know how to love. This life, whether long or short, can only be lived once. All that we have worried about, feared, or tried to hold on to will eventually fade into the stream of time. Only our attitude toward those changes determines whether we suffer or find peace. The Buddha taught, when the mind is pure, the world is pure. When the mind is disturbed, all worlds are disturbed. Thus, learning to let go is not neglect or escape, but living mindfully amidst change. Letting go does not mean giving up effort, but giving up resistance. It is not stopping love, but loving without attachment. It is not ceasing to strive, but striving in serenity. When we let go, we are no longer pulled by illusions. We act with wisdom and mindfulness, not fear or desire. This is the art of living peacefully within impermanence. In life, everyone has moments of exhaustion, discouragement, and the wish to give up. But the letting go the Buddha taught is not abandoning life, but releasing what disturbs the heart. Letting go of anger to lighten the heart. Letting go of stubbornness to soften the mind. Letting go of fear to walk steadily. Letting go of expectations to love truly. When we let go of the right things, we lose nothing. Instead, we regain our freedom. The Buddha once said, "If a problem can be solved, there is no need to worry. If it cannot be solved, worrying is useless." The words sound simple, yet hold great truth. So much suffering arises from trying to control the uncontrollable. We want time to stop, people to remain unchanged, life to follow our wishes. But life is impermanent. It shifts every second, like breath in and out. Only by accepting this can we flow peacefully with the current of conditions. Letting go is a journey of wisdom. At first, we let go of small things, a word of argument, an unreasonable anger. Gradually, we learn to release deeper things. The ego, the craving for fame, the need to prove ourselves, until finally we even let go of the idea of letting go, because the mind has become so peaceful that nothing remains to release. At that point, we live as naturally as breathing, without effort, without strain, simply present in each moment. A man once asked a Zen master, "How can I free my mind from entanglement?" The master replied, "When you stop chasing away the clouds, the sky will clear by itself." Letting go is not a forceful act, but a return to nature. When the mind stops wanting, everything becomes still, just as when the lake stops rippling, its depths shine clear. Peace does not come from seeking, but from pausing to see. Someone said, "I'm afraid to let go because I will lose everything." But in truth, only through letting go do we see what is real. When the hand clenches tightly, it cannot receive anything. But when it opens, it feels the sand, the breeze, and the sunlight touching it. Letting go does not make us lose. It helps us realize what we truly have. Amidst this impermanent life, the most precious thing is not what we hold, but the calm heart within what we cannot keep. The one who knows how to let go is the one who knows how to live. They do not fear loss because they understand that loss is part of gain. They do not fear change because change is the nature of all things. They do not fear impermanence because impermanence is the miracle that teaches us to love, to understand, and to let go. If nothing ever changed, how could we learn to cherish? Without suffering, how could we know peace? One day, when we sit quietly amid the noise of life, needing to prove nothing, chasing no one, simply breathing and smiling, that is when we are most fully alive, not in wealth or success, but in the serene freedom of the mind. That is nirvana in daily life. Not far away, not difficult, only waiting for us to return. The Buddha taught, peace is not at the end of the road, but in every step along the way. Each mindful breath is letting go. Each smile to suffering is letting go. Each time we say, enough, that is letting go. With every release, we become a little lighter, a little freer, until one day we walk with no burdens left, only a heart as light as a cloud. My dear friend, this life comes only once. Don't let it pass in worry, fear, and attachment. Slow down to hear your own breath, to feel the light shining within your heart. Be grateful for what you have, let go of what should be released, and smile at what remains. For the art of living peacefully amidst impermanence lies not in doing more, but in letting go rightly. When the mind is at peace, the world is at peace. When the heart is wide, life is wide. When we know how to let go, we truly begin to live, lightly, deeply, fully in each breath. And in that moment, we understand what the Buddha meant. Happiness is not far away. It is blooming right here in this very moment, within you, within me, within every warm breath. My dear friend, thank you for walking with Dharma in Motion through this long journey, the journey of release, of mindfulness, and of a peaceful life. If your heart feels a little lighter, if you smile once more or feel deeper gratitude for every moment of living, then this episode is complete. Keep walking with a gentle heart and mindful breath, for every peaceful step you take today is the miracle of a human life that comes only once.